This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Amici. Tonight, we welcome back to Health and Heartiness W.C. Fields. In this, we are joined by Edgar Bergen and his famous dummy, Charlie McCarthy. Dorothy Lamour, Hollywood's latest singing glamour girls. Dick Rogers and Larry Hart, two of America's leading composers, and Ray Middleton to sing Rogers and Hart's most striking composition, golden-haired Anne Harding, back from the London stage. Moving along from Right to Wrong, meet Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Ventriloquist Edgar Bergen brings his top-headed dummy, Charlie McCarthy, and speaks for both. But when Edgar speaks for Charlie, his own lips never move, and you'd swear that the words are coming out of Charlie's mouth. Since the first appearance on the Rudy Valley Hour just a few months ago, Edgar and Charlie have zoomed to the top of the heap in the field of comedy. So, Mr. Edgar Bergen, speak for yourself.
Thank you, Don. That was very nice. Didn't you like it, Charlie?
Well, yes and no. I still miss Rudy Valley. I don't know. I'm just not happy, that's all.
Not happy in Hollywood?
No. Mr. Bergen, my body may be in Hollywood, but my soul is still in Radio City.
Well, after you've been here a while and met everybody, Charlie, you'll soon learn to like Hollywood.
Uh-huh. Mr. Michi, how long have you been here?
Oh, just about a year, I guess.
Uh-huh. What do you do?
Charlie.
What?
No, don't you know Charlie Don is in pictures?
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Ooh, fascinating work, that extra business, isn't it?
Don Amici's a star, remember? You saw him in One in a Million.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. Which one was he?
Well, why, he was Sonia Henny's leading man.
Oh, Sonia Henny. Swell skate, huh?
Yes, Charlie, she's positively lovely.
Yeah? Well, if you're so positive about it, you don't happen to know her phone number, do you?
You certainly overrate yourself, young man.
Oh, I don't know about that. I did pretty well with the stewardess on the airplane coming out here.
Oh, yes.
Such service. Served me lunch, and she talked to me, and she slapped my face.
And you certainly deserved it, too, young man. Yes, such conduct on the plane, it was shameful.
What did I do that was wrong? What did I do? Name 5 things.
In the first place, what in the world possessed you to go back there in the washroom and drop pop bottles out of the airplane?
Oh, that, yes. I was playing bomber.
And then you talked to the pilot.
Yeah, but why? I don't know why they serve those at lunch in those paper cups and those paper dishes.
Oh, well, that's to save weight.
Oh, was that so?
Oh, yes. Every pound counts.
Oh, that's it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is that why they made the hand towels so small, too?
Oh, I didn't think the hand towels were so small.
Well, they were so small, I was almost ashamed to put them in my suitcase.
Well, now, I'm really ashamed of you, Charlie.
Are you really?
Yes. Don't you ever stop to regret your actions?
Oh, I'm too busy thinking what to do next. Anyway, we got here, didn't we?
Yes.
That's the important thing.
Yes.
Now, I suggested tomorrow we should visit the studios or go fishing.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, but tomorrow I have to look for a house in the suburbs.
Oh, do you?
Yes. And then, of course, comes the servant problem.
Oh, do I understand? Well, if you get stuck for a butler, remember, I'm trained.
That's right.
Yes, you rehearsed me, remember? To go as Rudy Valley's valet?
That's right. And if I remember correctly, you were a terrible mess at it.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I remember everything you told me.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I'd be glad to help you out temporarily. And besides, I can use the cash.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure that I can use you.
Well, I'm sure I can use the cash.
Well, I believe in letting a boy work for his money.
Yes, you've proven that.
Yes. And I will consider you.
Yeah?
Yes. But remember, Charlie, always efficiency.
Oh, yes.
And always courtesy.
Oh, definitely, my lord.
Yes. And the name will be Bertram.
Good old Bertram.
Yes. And at no time must there be any insolence.
Oh, banish the fault, my lord. Oh.
And remember, Charlie, Thursday I rest.
Quite so.
I see no visitors on Thursday.
Oh, don't you? No.
Thursday is my not-at-home day.
You're not at home day?
That's right.
Where do you go?
I stay at home.
Oh, you stay... Oh, that's marvelous. Marvelous. A bit sneaky, eh, what?
Yeah. Now the thing is, if someone comes to the door, what do you say?
We don't need any.
No. No, I mean, suppose a friend of mine, for example, suppose Lord Fithersby of England should come and call on me.
Yeah?
Yes. What do you say?
Is it Thursday?
Yes, Thursday.
Uh-oh. No go.
No go, that's right.
I give him the bum's rush.
No. No, you must give him the greatest courtesy. Is that so? Yes. That is where tact is required. Mm-hmm. Now, suppose I'm Lord Sithersby. Uh-huh. I'm calling to see Mr. Bergen. Very good. Yes, all right. Now, you're the butler. Very good, my lord. Go ahead. I'm at the door now. Uh-huh. Go ahead, knock. Yes, all right. How do you do, Lord Sithersby? Now, wait a minute. How do you know it's Lord Sithersby? Oh, you just told me. Oh. You don't. I know. I'm sorry. Knock again. First, you ask the name. That's right, yes. Hello. Come in. What's your name, Lord Sithersby? No. What's the name? That's better. Uh-huh, yes. My name is Lord Sithersby. Very good, sir. Yes. I would like to see Mr. Bergen. I'm sorry, but it's Thursday, if you know what I mean. He's not in. He's not in? No. Well, where is he? He's in and he's out. He's in and he's out. He's puffing about, as it were. Well, just what is he doing? At the moment, he's sleeping. Sleeping? Then he's not out? No, he's all in. He's all in. And that's why I didn't go out. But if you think you're going to see him, you're out of luck. Yes. But I'm Lord Sithersby from the Isle of Wight. Is that so? Yes. Well, I suggest you wait until tomorrow. No. Do I get the job? Well, not so fast, you see. Now, there's a questionnaire to fill out. Uh-huh. I don't know anything about your character. Well, I'm taking the same chances with you, you know. Yes, I know. Now, what about the salary? Oh, the salary. Yes, there is the salary, I hope. Yes. Well, the salary, it will be a small starting salary. A small starting salary? Yes. Mm-hmm. But it will start. It will start. It can limp along. Oh, yes. Could you say how small it would be? I'm awfully sorry, Charlie. I can't say how small it will be. Oh, they don't make money that small, huh? All right. Go away.
Dorothy Lamour, Hollywood's newest star. Beautiful, versatile, glamorous.
Yes, and in addition to that, she's not bad. She's not half bad, if you know what I mean.
Thank you, Charlie. You're very cute.
You're kind of cute yourself. Now, considering that we're going to be working together, I think we ought to be good friends, don't you?
Yes, Charlie, we all ought to be good friends, but...
Now, don't cramp my style, I meet you.
I'm sorry.
Miss Lamour.
Yes, Charlie.
Would you care, how about a lemonade or something?
Now, Charlie, please postpone your lemonade invitation till later, will you?
All right. I bow to art, but I defer to Dorothy. Curtsy?
Thank you, Charlie. Curtsy.
As a result of one curtsy to another, Dorothy Lamour sings What Will I Tell My Heart?
Miss Lamour, Baba. I might even say bravissima. How about knocking off that schooner of lemonade now? You know, Mr. Bergen?
Yes?
I've always wondered why they ring those bells.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't suppose it's to wake up the people, do you?
Well, I see you're back, Charlie.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Amici. Yes, indeed. I go, but I return.
Yes, that's inevitable.
My convalescence, having a nervous breakdown.
For 10 weeks?
No. The run was curtailed on account of my developing low-bar pneumonia. They put me in an oxygen tent. I thought I was camping.
What do you mean?
After I played 3 weeks of Fields the Campfire Girl, I returned to play out my open 2 weeks of nervous breakdown.
And what next?
A pulled tendon, broken left foot, Paget's disease, double vision, infected toe, more nervous breakdown. They came so fast and furious it was difficult to distinguish them from perfect health.
But the doctors cured you of everything, didn't they?
Yes, everything but that stubborn case of pernicious dandruff. It was ferocious, Ratty. Clang, clang, clang.
Clang, 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 clang. Thank you very, very much.
Mr. Amici? Oh, I wonder what Rudy Valley is doing in London tonight. Dear old Rudy. What a voice. What a voice.
Charlie.
Yes, and what a right uppercut, too. Woo-woo!
Charlie, I must ask you to remember, the boss is not Rudy Valley, it's Don Amici.
Who did he ever lick?
Shape right now, Charlie. There always must be an au revoir. And I'm saying it now for our guests, Ann Harding and Rogers and Hart. For Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy.
I'll be back next Sunday.
Yes, Charlie. And so will W.C. Fields.
Redwood for a no. Clang, 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 what is this sound?
Thank you, W.C., thank you. And in addition, next Sunday, the Chase and Sanborn Hour will bring you Joseph Bentonelli and Carol Lombard.
Not Carol Lombard. I wonder if she'd like a lemonade.
Well, you'll certainly find out, Charlie, because she'll be here, and so will the rest of us. And that means W.C. Fields, Dorothy Lamour, Werner Jansen, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Joseph Bentonelli, Carol Lombard, and yours sincerely, Don Amici. Until next Sunday at the same time, au revoir. This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Amici greeting you on behalf of all those present. It's quite a list. For tonight, we're honored to have with us Miss Carol Lombard, Paramount's brilliant comedienne, the world-famous tenor of the Metropolitan Opera Company, Joseph Bentonelli, and the regular company, our own little plum blossom, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and his incorrigible little pal, Charlie McCarthy, Hollywood's newest singing star, Dorothy Lamour. I'm very happy now to make way for Edgar Bergen, that most unusual fellow who always brings along his little pal, Charlie McCarthy, sits Charlie on his knee, and proceeds to speak for both. Well, Charlie, isn't it nice to be together again with all these interesting people?
Well, yes, well, except for one thing.
But life is not without its thorns.
Yes, well, in this case, it's a red nose.
Charlie, listen, I must ask you to remember that we're all just one big family.
Yes, and I know who the black sheep is, too.
Charlie, did you read that book I gave you on how to win friends?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's fine.
Yes.
And you understand the rules?
I certainly do.
Yes, well, that's fine.
Yes, I remember everything. Let's see. Winning friends, the first one is be a good listener.
That's right.
The second one is talk about things that interest other people.
That's right.
The third is make them feel important.
And the fourth rule is don't argue.
That's right. It's a cinch. Watch me try it on Don.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Amici.
Yes, Charlie.
Don't you think the cinema, well, and by the cinema, of course, I mean the motion picture as well. Don't you think it's making great strides in business?
In what respect?
Well, in making motion pictures, especially, simply marvelous. That forging ahead spirit, that pioneering stuff like that, isn't it?
Well, just what do you mean, Charlie?
Well, I don't know. What I mean is, do you think the magic lantern will ever come back?
Yes, Charlie, I even predict that someday pictures will actually talk.
Is that so? Well, it only goes to show you. Well, then you'll be all set with your singing voice, and I want to compliment you on that splendid singing last week.
Oh, well, thanks, Charlie, but really, I didn't think it was so good.
It was simply marvelous, that's all.
No, I disagree with you, Charlie.
It was simply superb, Don, that's all.
Charlie, rule number 4, don't argue.
Oh, yes.
And no matter what you say, I don't think I sang very well.
Well, now that you mention it, it was pretty bad. That ought to stop it.
Well, I didn't think it was as bad as that, Charlie. You know, several of my friends suggested I go to Italy.
To hide?
No, Charlie, to study.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm for you, Don. For my money, you're the top. You're the real McCoy, pal.
That's rule number 3, the oil.
Yes, I
know.
Well, I'm awfully glad to hear you say that, Charlie.
I don't like to talk about people, but as a singer, you have it all over that Ray Middleton, just like a tent.
Oh, now that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I only wish that I could sing like him.
Listen, pal, this is confidential. But I heard people after the broadcast last week, they were saying it was a shame the way he murdered that song, Never in a Million Years.
But he didn't sing that.
Don't try to shield him now.
No. I sang Never in a Million Years.
Wow. My.
There you go again.
Yes, I don't know. I try so hard, but nobody understands me.
No, I see that. I'm almost afraid, Charlie, to take you on this yachting party Tuesday, even as a servant.
Well, why? I didn't insult anybody as your butler last week, did I?
Of course, nobody called. Well, if I do take you on this yachting party, remember, you must follow the orders to the letter.
Oh, very good, sir.
Yes. And here are the duties for the day.
Yes. How late can I sleep?
Oh, yes. Well, you won't have to get up until 5:30.
5:30. In the morning?
In the morning.
Woo! What do I do?
Well, the first thing you do is get dressed.
Oh, thank you. I'd never thought of that.
Then you run the dog around the deck for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yes.
That's all. That's enough.
And then after breakfast, you promenade the dog for another 2 hours.
What, again?
That's right.
What's the idea?
Well, running the dog around builds him up.
Yeah, but it tears me down.
This is a very valuable dog.
Oh, forgive me for being...
After promenading the dog, you give him a bath. And then you press my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And before lunch, you run the dog around again.
What, again?
Yes. And now after lunch...
I know. Run that seahound around the deck again.
And after an hour of bridge, you serve tea. Then you give the dog another bath.
Another bath? What are we on, a cold guard?
Then you lay out my dinner clothes, and...
Mr. Bergen, don't look now, but I think that dog wants to run around the deck again.
That's the idea.
I'm getting the knack of it now.
Yes. Then it's time to serve dinner. Wash the dishes, and at midnight you scrub the deck.
Very good, sir.
Now, you know what to do. Remember, the deck must be scrubbed every night.
Very good, sir. But I might suggest if I didn't run that dog around so much, I wouldn't have to scrub.
That will do it.
Tell me, is there lull in your life?
Well, not really, Charlie.
Then you don't know what it means to be lonely, huh?
Are you lonely, Charlie?
All day I have nothing to do. At night I just walked and walked and home to my empty room.
Oh, you poor darling.
Oh, no. My dear little diary, filled with nothing but empty pages. All those blankety blank pages.
Charlie, you're breaking my heart.
Every night the same thing. Nothing ever happens. Oh, Miss Lamore.
How about having dinner with me some night?
Oh, wonderful. Any night, Miss Lamore. Any night at all.
All right, then tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow? No go. Mae West is penciled in for tomorrow.
Charlie, you certainly get a lot of fun out of being the world's greatest imaginary Romeo.
Bum, bum, bum. Bells ring. Everything happens, but I haven't spoken to Carol Lombard yet. Something must be done, Mr. Amici.
Oh, now, Charlie, listen. Carol Lombard wouldn't speak to you. Well, why, she's dated the best man in Hollywood.
Why, she hasn't met the best man in Hollywood yet.
Very well, then, Charlie. Miss Lombard. Please. Miss Lombard, this is Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, Charlie, at last we meet.
Oh, Miss Lombard. I have so much to tell you.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Carol.
If I wouldn't be intruding...
Yeah, but you would be.
I should. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, and you scram too, Amici.
Have it your own way, Charlie.
At last, Carol, we're alone. So long I've wanted to tell you how beautiful you are. How charming and stuff like that.
You're not just saying that, are you?
Oh, believe me, I swear by the stars above. Your smile, it's like a rose wet with the morning dew.
Oh, then you do love me. Say that you do. Tell me that you love me.
Well, what I meant to say was that you and I, that the both of us...
oh, Charlie, from the first time I heard your voice, I fell madly in love with you.
Is that so? Well, it's nice. It's nice to be friends, isn't it?
Friends. Oh, this is love, really, real love.
Well,
undying love. You do love me.
Oh, gee. Well, I was... well, now let's be sensible about this thing.
You do love me.
Well, what I had in mind was a lemonade when I...
Lemonade? Oh, how can I think of that with you so near and with
Yeah?
the passionate, burning love I have for you?
Yeah. You poor thing. How she loves me. Oh, you'll meet someone else?
No, there can never be another. I must have you. Oh, let me hold you.
No.
Crush you.
No.
Without you, I die. I shall follow you to the end of the world and scream out my love for you.
Wait a minute.
Charlie.
Wait a minute. Oh, Mr. Bergen. Oh, Mr. Amici. Help.
Well, I'll save you, Charlie, but let that be a lesson to you. And thank you, Miss Lombard, for calling Charlie's bluff. Last week, I had the great pleasure of welcoming back to good health our friend W.C. Fields. His hello was so hearty that we insisted that he give us more of his inimitable humor. So tonight he's back with us, and one of us, W.C. Fields. Mr. Fields, it's great to greet you as a permanent member of our company. Yes, sir, it certainly is.
Yes, sir, it certainly is. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's all right. Say anything you please. Or maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Well, anyway, thank you, Dan.
The name is Don.
Oh, yes, I know. Don't tell me. I know. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. All right, Bill. Say, you don't mind if I call you Bill, do you?
Oh, no, not at all. Any name but that other one.
Oh. You don't like that WC, do you?
Occasionally. Go ahead.
Say, by the way, Bill, I just want to tell you that I got word from Paramount that they don't want you to keep dragging in their name like you did last week.
What's the matter with those guilt things? Are they stuffed?
Well, no matter what you think, please don't mention, you know what I mean.
Yeah, Paramount.
Now, please, Bill.
Okay. You all right if I mention Chase and Sanborn?
Well, truthfully, even Chase and Sanborn prefer that you don't mention their name.
Oh, nobody wants me to mention anybody's name.
Well, I think it'd be best if you didn't mention any names.
Is it all right if I use words?
Yes, yeah, that's perfectly all right, Bill.
Well, when C&S give a dinner, what do they serve?
C&S coffee, of course.
Nothing else? When I give a dinner, I generally serve cocktails, a little wine. Afterwards, I always serve a liqueur. Means demi-tasse. Half cup.
Yeah, I know. Go on, Bill, will you?
I serve about sometimes,
What?
50-50 coffee and liqueur.
Yeah, all right, go ahead now, Bill. Go ahead.
Sometimes, down on 25-75. Coffee being in the minority. Nothing like a couple of drops of coffee in your liqueur.
Say, Bill, here's Dorothy. You remember Dorothy, don't you?
Oh, yes. Hello, Dorothy. How are you? Dorothy Dixon?
No, Bill. This is Dorothy Lamour, right beside you.
Oh, yeah, Dorothy Lamour, to be sure. Sometimes I forget a face, but I never remember a name. How are you, Dorothy? Yeah. I guess you didn't hear me.
Oh, it's funny. I never saw Dorothy act that way with anybody she really knew.
Neither did I. She's a very silly girl. She asked me up to have some tea and crumpets with her the other day. If she'd have played her cards right, we might have formed a very dear friendship. Yeah, she's a silly little girl. She just let me slip right through her finger. I guess me being so friendly to her has gone to her head.
The lug.
She evidently didn't recognize me. These white shoes threw her off. I usually wear black pumps. Patent leather. Which is right, patent or patent?
Well, at this point, I wouldn't care. Will you please go ahead, Bill?
Oh, I like this. I could sit here all evening and reminisce.
Say, not changing the subject, Bill, but how do you feel?
I feel rather dicky.
Clang, clang, clang?
Yes. Clang, clang, clang.
Pull yourself together now,
What
Bill.
is this sound I hear?
Bill.
Out at the house the other day, I told him to get me a couple of pills.
What for, Bill?
I was suffering from swollen thighs. Sitting down too much, I suppose. They made a mistake and brought me camphor balls instead.
Did you swallow them?
Yeah, and every time I sneeze, dozens of moths fly out.
What?
Yeah, a covey of moths closely followed by a bevy of silverfish.
A bevy?
Flying in V formation. Fly on the wing.
Hey, Bill.
Here's a sign
Bill,
of
now look, wait a minute.
When the little
Bill, now
children...
look, hold everything. Please, Bill, let's cut out the poetry. Nobody wants to hear anything about moths.
Moth in the flame?
No.
Don't you remember Maeterlinck's poem about the moth?
Oh, now, Bill, Maeterlinck wrote about bluebirds.
It's practically the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it is. Anyway, you shouldn't sleep with your mouth open.
I don't. I sleep with my mouth closed. They crawl in through the nostril.
Well, that gives them more room. Do you do anything about it?
Yeah, I usually drink a couple of glasses of flip before retiring.
And does that kill the moth?
Doesn't help them any. I'm usually awake all night. There's one consolation, though. The moths suffer as much as I do. I feel them flying around in my stomach, screaming with pain.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Fields.
Oh, hello, Werner. Where's your orchestra?
No, that's Edgar Bergen.
Oh, yes, I know. Don't tell me. Hello, Edwin.
Edgar.
Don't prompt me. I know.
Mr. Fields, Charlie wants to say something to you.
Yes.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Fields.
Hello, blood poison.
I've been reading a book, Mr. Fields.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, well, this book taught me a lot of things. I want to apologize for the nasty way I talked last week about your nose being made of redwood.
Make nothing of it. Forget it. What were you saying, Mr. Michi?
I can't forget it, though. I've been thinking about it ever since last Sunday.
Perish the thought.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about it.
That's big of you, Mr. Fields. And now do you feel sorry that you said I was full of termites?
I guess I do. I really haven't had time to give it much thought.
You know, Charlie really loved you, Mr. Fields.
Yes, I do. But I don't think Mr. Fields loves me.
Now listen, that's gone far enough. I've been a gentleman up to now.
Why, what's the matter, Bill?
Well, he's not going to tell me I don't love him. I'll break every knot in his body. I want to tell you something. He didn't know that I was in the dressing room this afternoon, and I heard him telling Dorothy Lamore that from the looks of my nose, I must have been weaned on ketchup.
On ketchup?
Ah, that dirty little rat. He's a wool in sheep's wool.
Oh, now look, Bill, consider Charlie's age. Consider his size.
Ah, he's a dirty little rat.
Oh. Look, really, Bill, you shouldn't say that about Charlie.
No, I really shouldn't say that about him because I love snakes. Some of my best friends, Don, are snakes.
Your best friends are snakes.
Yeah, particularly rattlesnakes. I'll never forget the time I found a rattlesnake imprisoned under a rock. He was there begging for succor. That means help. So I freed him, and with a grateful look in his eyes, he followed me home. Before I went to sleep that night, I made him a bed of one of my old undershirts. Yes, it was the undershirt. I wear woolen underwear, you know.
Yeah, go on, Bill, go on.
Summer and winter.
Now, look. Look, Bill, no one is interested in what you wear.
Well, that's funny. No man is interested in what another man wears. I had a blind dance.
What about the rattlesnake, Bill?
Don't be impatient. And as I bade the little rattlesnake good night, I patted him, it, on the head.
Was it a him, her, or him?
To tell you the truth, Don, I don't know. I never looked. You know, he actually licked my hand. And just before the little fellow curled up to sleep, and tried to kiss me.
Oh, this is very, very romantic, Bill. You're really touching the strings of my heart.
Oh, it was a beautiful night. I went to bed.
Yeah. You went to bed.
Yes, I remember that very distinctly. Suddenly I woke. A ruffian had entered my boudoir with a fowling piece. He said to me, "Reach for the ceiling." He didn't know the roof was blowing off 3 days before.
But, what happened to the ruffian, Bill?
Oh, he had his back to my beautiful little rattlesnake. There he lay, sweet little chap, breathing in pain, the tears running down his cheeks.
Well, I didn't know snakes had cheeks.
Call them what you may. Cheeks by any other name would still be cheeks to me. There he lay, as sick as a boiled owl.
Well, how do you know he was sick?
Oh, I really called a doctor. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. The little fellow sunk his fangs into the marauder's fetlock, held him tightly, whilst the marauder screamed with pain. My little friend, the snake, stuck his tail out the window and rattled for a constable.
Yes, Bill, that is indeed gratitude.
And may I say in conclusion that I always smoke Chase Sanborn.
Thank you, Bill, thank you. Thank you, Bill, thank you.
That little punk thinks I don't love him.
Thank you very much, W.C. Fields. For our guests, Carol Lombard and Joseph Ventinelli, I'm saying au revoir. And for our regular company, W.C. Fields.
Fly, fly, on the wing. Nobody appreciates poetry. Next week, I'm going to steal that little punk's monocle.
Confidentially, Michi, I still don't think he loves me.
Oh, W.C. may learn to love you yet, Charlie. Next Sunday, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, Werner Jansen, and I will have as our guests Ray Middleton and Mary Boland.
I wonder if she likes lemonade.
We'll all be looking for you. This is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir until next Sunday at this same time. This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Amici greeting you on behalf of one of America's leading comedians, Miss Mary Boland, our own turtle dove, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and his little pal, Charlie McCarthy, versatile and lovely Dorothy Lamour, Ray Middleton, dramatic young baritone just signed for pictures, and Werner Jansen, America's foremost conductor. With top hat and monocle, bad boy Charlie McCarthy is at large again, accompanied by his close friend and distracted guardian, Edgar Bergen, who does the talking for them both. Edgar, I don't know why a little scamp like Charlie, who spends so much time looking for trouble, should be so welcome, but he is.
Well, I do know, Don, that Charlie shouldn't be here at all today. The boy has tonsillitis, and he's trying to talk me out of it.
Oh, is that so? Well, what makes you so sure that I'm sick, huh?
Well, because you have a fever of 102.
Is that so?
Yes.
102?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
102 is very bad.
Well, it's the best I can do.
Oh.
If it makes 104, I'll sell.
And then what about your hemoglobin count?
My hemoglobin?
I say your hemoglobin count is 60.
Is that so?
Yes.
That's pretty good, huh?
No.
Oh?
No.
Is that bad, too?
That's bad, too.
Boy, I'm a wreck.
You should have from 90 to 100.
I wouldn't know where to keep them.
No. Keep what?
Those homely goblins.
No. Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, no.
Well, you're a sick boy.
Yes.
And I've already called for a nurse.
A nurse?
Yes.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm going to have a nurse?
Yes.
Oh, ho, ho. Maybe I'm sicker than I think I am. Is she, or isn't she? Is she pretty?
Oh, yes, she's very pretty.
Yeah?
Yes, she's very pretty. In fact,
now, don't you lie to me.
No.
I'm too weak to be disappointed. Well, what do you think is wrong with me, Doctor?
Well, I really don't know.
You don't know?
No.
That's a fine start you're making. You studied medicine, haven't you? Or is it just a whim of yours?
Oh, no. I've studied medicine for 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
8 years. Yes. Didn't help, huh?
Oh, yes. But I will admit, in spite of my years of study, there are times when I feel as if I don't know a thing about it.
Yeah, well, that's the way you impressed me.
Now, young man, I'm going to sound your chest and I'm going to examine your throat.
Yes.
check my oil, too.
Yes, I'll do it.
Will the examination take long?
The examination won't take long.
It won't take long?
No.
Well, I'll wait then.
All right.
You know, I have suffered, Doctor.
I believe so.
Oh, how I've suffered. Suffer. Oh, how I suffered. No one will ever know what I've gone through.
No.
I won't tell them.
I know.
I even suffer when I think of how I suffered.
Is that so?
Suffer all the time. I've suffered so long I don't think I'd feel good unless I was suffering.
Maybe not.
I don't mind suffering. It's just the pain I can't stand.
Is that
Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Well,
Young man?
what is that thing, that instrument there? What do you stick those things in your ears for?
Oh, this instrument?
Uh-huh.
We call this a stethoscope.
Is that so?
Yes.
Well, what does it do?
Well, with this instrument, I can pick up the sound of your heart beating.
Is that so?
Yes.
I bet you can't get South America on it.
Oh, no. Young man, I'm afraid you're in rather bad shape.
Is that so?
Yes. I may have to do a tonsillectomy.
No. You're not going to do no tonsillectomy on me.
Well, now, it's not going to hurt you at all because I'm going to give you an anesthetic.
What's that?
Well, I have chloroform, ether, gas, and a local.
Uh-huh.
Now, what would you like?
A mint julep.
No.
Pardon me, Dr. Bergen?
Yes.
You called for me?
Yes, nice of you to hurry. You make a lovely-looking nurse, Miss L'Amour.
Thank you, Doctor.
Lovely, simply lovely.
All right. I'm the patient, madam. I'm the one you're supposed to fuss around.
All right.
I may be sick, but I ain't dead.
All right. This is our patient, Charlie McCarthy.
How do you do?
Oh, so.
Yes. I think we have a tonsillectomy.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
No.
Do you think you'll have to operate?
Well, I'm going to paint his throat with silver nitrate solution and hope for the best. Will you give me the swab and the silver nitrate?
Yes, Dr. Bergen.
Make it two.
Yes, all.
Well, what does this stuff taste like?
Oh, a little like peppermint candy.
You don't have any bubble gum, do you?
No.
Is it strong?
No.
I don't need a chaser?
No. It's only a 2% solution.
Oh, the stuff's cut, isn't it?
Now you open your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Open wide.
What's that thing for with the cotton on the end of the stick?
Oh, this is a swab.
I don't have to swallow the whole thing.
Oh, no.
Well, you be sure and hang on to your end.
Oh, yes. Open wide.
Uh-huh.
Open wide.
Yeah. Well, come on. You want me to jump for it?
No. There it goes.
Oh, here it comes. That stuff's awful.
I think you'll be all right now in a few minutes.
I don't think I'll live that long. But I do think I better keep my nurse, Doctor, because I might have a relapse, you know.
Oh, no.
No?
I shall see that Dorothy gets home safely.
Oh, Doctor.
Oh, nurse.
Oh, nuts. Have I told you how frightfully lonely I was all alone in Hollywood?
Yes, you did. And then I suppose comes the lemonade.
I was coming to that, yes. You don't like lemonade?
Oh, sure. But not with you.
Oh, the girl is out of her mind. She spurns me. Rather cool this evening, don't you think, Miss L'Amour?
Yes, there's a frost, if you can get it.
Oh, I get it, yes. I get it all right. But why this attitude? Just because of my few platonic friendships like Carol and May and Joan?
Oh, I've heard all about you. You're Casanova McCarthy, the heartbreaker of Hollywood.
I guess it's the gypsy in me. If I wasn't so darn good looking, you know.
Charlie, this is the end.
You mean we've, our flaming romance is but a bunch of clinkers?
Yes, Charlie. Let's call the whole thing off.
Oh. Bum, bum, bum. Are you listening, Mother? Oh, the tintinnabulation of those bells. Oh, hello, Miss Dolan. I'm Charlie McCarthy.
Not Casanova McCarthy of Hollywood.
The very same?
I think Casanova was quite a lover, don't you? Although he really wasn't as great a musician as Nero, I'll say.
Well, Werner Jansen is quite...
yes, he is. Oh, I love the way he conducts. I just adore it. He absolutely terrifies me. I wonder what would happen if he pointed at the wrong instrument. That'd be most unfortunate. Oh, what were you saying, young man?
Oh, well, that was so long ago,
Oh, yes. Charlie McCarthy, the Casanova of Hollywood. That's such a cute name. Are you Spanish, Mr. McCarthy?
They call me Don Juan McCarthy.
Don Juan.
That's right. Don Juan, and 3 to go.
Oh, they do? How interesting. I can see why they might say that. That look in your eye.
Oh, you've noticed it too, huh? Oh, why was I cursed with this fatal charm?
Now, your left eye looks the most Spanish. The pupil's darker.
Yes, a week ago they were both Spanish. And closed.
Are you an osteopath, Master McCarthy?
No, those guys rub me the wrong way. I'm not a chiropractor either.
Oh, a chiropractor, how nice. You know, I've often wondered what the chiropractor thinks about. What do you think about Master McCarthy?
Well, right now I'm beginning to think I like W.C. Fields.
Oh, you mean Willie? Uncle Willie? Oh, he's such a charming man, such savoir-faire, such poise, such, what shall I say?
Such a nose. Honest, if he painted green stripes on it, it would look like an awning.
Yes, now that you bring it up, Uncle Willie has quite a nose, hasn't he? Would you call it Roman or not?
I did call it Redwood. That's what got me in trouble.
I must introduce you to Willie. You two will get along so well together.
I'm not so sure.
Oh, not so sure. Remember my motto. He who hesitates is lost.
Yeah, well, I'm not lost. I'm ruined.
Charlie, I'll call you when Mr. Fields wants to see you.
You mean I should wait here until Mr. Fields wants to see me?
Yes, Charlie,
yeah. Yes. Silver threads among the gold.
Thank you, Miss Boland. Somehow I have a hunch you'll really fix Charlie right. Clang, clang, clang. What is this sound I hear? The Redwood Nose is coming, its headlights drawing near. We love this jolly bumpkin for laughter that he yields. We greet with gladsome welcome our W.C. Fields. Well, Bill, how did you like my clang, clang, clang?
Don't even mention that. That's a bait one of me. It means black bear.
All right, Bill. Amici shall not clang tonight. Anyway, we're all one big happy family, aren't we?
I guess we are. I don't know. It isn't so happy, Don, when you analyze it.
Why, you thinking about Charlie again this week, Bill?
Oh, not particularly Charlie, everybody. The musical highlight on the program has been airing disparaging opinions about me.
You mean Warner Jansen?
I don't mean Ann Harding. I heard Warner telling Mary Bogle the other day, Warner Jackson.
It's Warner Jansen and Mary Boland.
Okay, everybody knows that. I heard him telling her that he didn't think I had a very pretty voice. And I killed the song last Sunday.
Oh, now, Bill, Warner wouldn't say anything like that.
Yeah, well, he said I had a voice that sounded as though I was yodeling from the inside of a whiskey barrel out through the bunghole.
A bunghole baritone, huh?
Now, listen, Don, do I look like a man that was addicted to alcoholic stimulants?
Why, not at all. Not at all, Bill.
Oh, that's funny. I thought I did.
All right, then you do.
Don, I was just thinking about the time when I was a young man.
Oh, reminiscing, huh?
Yeah. Another thief and myself, another little chum and myself. One of a little chap, nice family, too. He lived with his grandmother over a saloon. Did she used to get blotto? What a gin hound.
His grandmother? Well, what happened, Bill?
Well, don't be impatient, please, Don.
Okay.
We went out one night for a stroll, when all of a sudden, to our great dismay and astonishment, my friend tripped over a basin down in the cellar and made a terrific racket.
What cellar?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about it. We casually wandered into a stranger's cellar.
Well, who was the stranger?
If I'd have known who it was, he wouldn't have been a stranger, would he? Well, the man went down that owned the place. He heard the noise. He lit a candle.
A candle in a house?
Yeah, that was the early days, Don. It wasn't until 10 years later that Edison invented the electric light. Bell came in with the telephone. Fulton quickly followed with a steamboat. Automobiles began to run up and down the street. Docile Darwin hung his head. He knew his day had gone. The days of the runaway horse were over. Automobiles were killing people instead.
Yeah, progress is remarkable, isn't it, Bill?
Pajamas came to take the place of the long woolen nightshirt, and the double-toed sock was still in the office.
Yeah, Bill, I know. But,
the rubber tire had taken the place of the dog.
The rubber tire had taken the place of the dog?
Yeah, a man found a piece of rubber tire in his sausage. We knew then that prosperity was just around the corner. The patent mousetrap.
Bill, look. Now, Bill, you were down in the stranger's cellar. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, thanks, Don. I'm glad you reminded me. The man reached for a can of prune whip. He wound up, and he let fly. The can hit me plumb on the bupkey.
The bupkey?
Yeah, the fight was on. Fight, fist to fly. See the gash right o'er my eye. The blood is gushing.
Gushing?
Yeah, gushing. Get a bag. Buy your coffee in a bag. I should have said rag. Go ahead.
Oh, Donald, how are you? I'm so glad we're all here together. So I can say this to all of us, for after all, I always say that we must all hang together.
Let me out of this.
Yeah, well. Now, but if we don't, Bill, we might none of us hang at all. Don't you think so?
Yes, of course, Miss Boland. Bill, you know Mary, don't you?
Oh, yes, I know Mary. Hi, Mary. Hi. That's Mary Bergen, isn't it? You see a relative, Charlie Bergen?
Oh, Bill, it isn't Mary Bergen. It's Mary Boland. Charlie Bergen and Edgar, Charlie... Edgar...
Yeah, so it is. Yeah. That's fine. How are you, Mary?
Oh, I'm just wonderful, Willie, just wonderful. And now I want to prepare you for a little surprise, a simply scrumptious surprise.
Nothing surprises me. Go ahead.
I found you a new companion. He's so anxious to meet you and shake you by the nose.
Here it comes.
Oh, dear, how silly of me, Of course, I meant by the hand, Bill.
Yeah, the nose might be safer.
He's a chiropractor, and he wants to be your bosom friend. As Kipling always put it, the day is lost.
Oh,
that day without... Just a minute, I'm sorry. That day without a newfound friend. A newfound... Say hello to Willie, Charlie.
Hello, Mr. Fields.
Hello, piece of grade B lumber.
Oh, dear, isn't Uncle Willie cute, Charlie? He always says the funniest things, and he's so distinguished. He has the most distinguished nose I ever saw.
Boy, she's asking for it.
You better keep his nose out of this, Miss Boland.
Yeah, keep my nose out of it and yours, too.
I think friendship is such a wonderful thing. It makes people so friendly. Don't you think so, Willie?
Who cares?
Now, really? Really, you are not yourself tonight. I don't know who you are, but you're not yourself. Do you feel well? Charlie, ask Willie how he feels.
I should know better, but here it goes. How do you feel, Mr. Fields?
I feel all right. You want to make anything out of it? You ever see a kid like that? He always wants to pick a fight. I'll saw his arm off.
Now, don't you worry, Charlie. I'll straighten this thing out.
Personally, I doubt it.
Oh, I've seen it happen so many times before. Some of the best friendships start with hatred.
Yeah, get worse.
I certainly had a good start.
Willie, I know in my heart of hearts that Charlie really and truly loves you.
Now, wait a minute. This has gone far enough. You're not going to start that again.
Now, Willie, that's really being very rude. I've tried to be the little spider that weaves the web of friendship, but no matter how nicely you insult people, they don't seem to understand it. No. I'm leaving. Come with me, Charlie. Come.
That makes it perfect. I'm glad to get rid of that kettle of fish.
Oh, now, look, calm down, Bill. Why don't you just forget all about Charlie?
I can't. There's a lot of elephant in me.
Oh, Bill. Look, haven't you found that story about an elephant never forgets to be a complete fallacy?
1,001 no's. On the contrary, now down at Paramount.
But, Bill, now I thought we understood each other. You were not to mention anybody's name.
Oh, all right, Don. Down where I work, you know what I mean. No sense in mentioning the name. Everybody knows it. Paramount.
Please, now, Bill, don't even whisper it.
Oh?
No.
Well, down there where we're making a picture about 20 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know you were in pictures 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. In those days, I was known as Little Baby W.C. I was a bit chubby, but strong.
What do you mean?
Dismiss it. We were shooting a circus scene in the picture. We had a whole herd of elephants. I came upon one monstrous beast, wreathing in pain and trumpeting.
Bill.
Was I off key?
Yeah, slightly, but go on.
I perceived the great mammoth to run a carpet tat into a ponderous paw.
You mean foot.
I often wondered what they call it. And being an ardent lover of animals, I extricated the tack from Mousie's paw. That was her name, Mousie.
Oh, well, say, that was kind of you.
Well, 20 years later, we were still making retakes for the same picture. 3 directors had died of old age. 1 died of ennui. And scurvy began to show its ugly head. The old spirit of Rook, thy neighbor, that old spirit of Carry On, was still with us.
Now, look, Bill, getting back to the elephant.
Oh, yes. Well, the elephant looked up at me. She recognized me. Her face lit up in it like a church. Can you imagine a great pachyderm's face lit up? What radiance! The entire scene was bathed in the fulgent light.
Say, that's very poetic, but what happened?
Ah, yes, the elephant never forgets. She lifted her proboscis.
Her what?
Her trunk, pardon me if I get too literary. The elephant entwined the great trunk around my fragile body. I was fragile in those days, tipped the beam at 120 in the raw.
Say, it's pretty light for you, Bill.
I used to be a reindeer jockey.
A reindeer jockey?
Never mind, I was fragile through worry. A dear old aunt of mine, whom I'd never seen, died in Bulgaria.
In Bulgaria?
Drinking buttermilk. During the Indian uprising.
Oh, now look, go on, Bill, please.
Yes.
What did the elephant do?
That's right, yes. We were in a circus. The elephant lifted me out of what she thought was the 10-cent seats and deposited me in what she believed to be the dollar seat.
Well, that's an excellent way of repaying her debt of gratitude.
Oh, yes, I have dedicated the following verse to the elephant. Pachyderm, blow thy trumpet. Drink this bucket of tea and crumpet.
Say, Bill, I'm surprised that you don't make a life work out of this beautiful poetry you write.
Yes, read my book.
Your book?
Yes, a cherry little volume entitled Epitaphs on Tombstones, or Fun in the Cemetery. Don't miss it if you can. May I give you a few samples?
No, don't bother, Bill.
Here is epitaph, page 197.
Bill.
I loved my mother. I hated to leave her.
Bill.
But what could you do with scarlet fever?
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Another on page 106.
That's fine, Bill.
Here lies the mother of 28.
Thank you, Bill.
There might have been more.
Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye. Thank you, Bill. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Back to page 4.
Thank you. Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye.
Here lies remains of
Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye.
Thank
you. Thank you very much, W.C. Fields. Thank you, and thank you, Werner, for that noble musical support. And now I'm saying au revoir for our guests, Mary Boland and Ray Middleton, and for our regular company, W.C. Fields.
Another epitaph, 163. Here lies the body of Everett Jones. He got into trouble by loading those bones. Galloping dominoes.
Thank you, W.C. That was swell. Next Sunday, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, Werner Jansen, and as our special guests, Jose Iturbe and Josephine Hutchinson.
If she doesn't like lemonade, I give up.
We'll all be on hand to welcome you. So until next Sunday at the same time, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir. This is the Chase Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Amici bidding a hearty welcome to Jose Iturbi, who is one of the great pianists of our day, and to Miss Josephine Hutchinson, whose many outstanding performances in the New York theater won her an immediate place among the brightest stars in pictures. Mr. Iturbi and Miss Hutchinson join our regular company, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, and Werner Jansen. With top hat a little on one side and monocle a bit foggy, Charlie McCarthy is still at large, followed anxiously by Edgar Bergen, without whom Charlie would just be a funny-looking wooden doll. But with two voiced Edgar Bergen to speak for him, Charlie is well on the way to earning the title of Public Nuisance #1. Nevertheless, we're all very fond of Charlie, and we hope he is fully recovered from last week's slight indisposition.
No, Don, I'm sorry to say that Charlie is not improved. And although I've done my best as a practicing physician...
Yeah. I wish you'd stop practicing.
Yes. I'm sorry, Charlie, but your tonsils, they must come out.
Is that so?
Yes.
You mean you'll have to?
I'm afraid so.
But, Doctor, I feel better.
You do?
Yes. I feel better.
You do?
Uh-huh. I got you there, huh?
No.
I felt better as soon as I saw your slaughterhouse.
Wait a minute here. That doesn't make a bit of difference, young man.
No?
No.
Not even if I feel good?
Not even if you feel good.
Oh, you hate to lose a customer, don't you?
Yes, I know. Yes.
Well, now, let's talk this thing over, Doctor.
Yes.
I suggest we postpone this thing until tomorrow, huh?
No.
Let's get an early morning start at the crack of dawn around 11:30.
No. I think we better do it now.
But I would much rather do it tomorrow.
It doesn't make any difference what you'd rather do.
Oh, doesn't it?
Not a bit.
Uh-huh. Well, that's another way of looking at it. I thought maybe as a favor.
No, wouldn't make a bit of difference.
I certainly got a drag around here.
Yes. You understand, young man, I'm trying to help you.
That's good of you.
Yes.
I guess there's no use kidding myself. I have suffered.
Of course you have.
Oh, how I've suffered. Oh, I suffer all the time.
Yes.
But it doesn't help.
No.
I don't think I'm suffering right.
Maybe you're not.
There must be a knack to it.
Yes.
Yesterday I was so weak, Doctor. I was so weak I couldn't even raise my voice.
Is that so?
I just sat and hung my head. That's the only exercise I had. How much do you charge for an operation like this, Doctor?
Well, of course, I always try to be considerate.
Well, that's nice.
Yes. For this operation, I will charge anywhere from nothing at all up to $300.
Is that so?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I'll take one for nothing at all. And don't skimp on anything either.
No.
I want hand sewing and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yes, that's me all over.
Oh, Miss Lamour, are the instruments sterilized?
Yes, Dr. Bergen, they're boiling.
So am I.
Yes, I have everything ready for the operation, so let's proceed.
Yes. Oh, nurse, why are you and the doctor all dressed up in white?
For your operation.
Is that so? That's nice of you. Yes. I didn't know I was going to have a formal opening. Oh. I should have worn my tuxedo.
Yes, you should have.
I'll wear a black dress if you like, Charlie.
No, I think you look much better in white. With you for my nurse, I'm going to be sick for a long time. My beautiful one. Your eyes are like it.
That will do, young man.
Yes.
Put your head down.
Yeah, well, don't push me. Don't push me, you hear?
All right.
Don't shove.
All right.
I'll clip you.
All right.
I'll mow you down.
All right.
Get the idea?
I get the idea.
Yes. I'm a customer here.
Yes, I know.
I want service and courtesy.
Yes, all right.
What's the idea of covering me up, nurse?
You must keep nice and warm.
Oh. I'm not cold. Not yet. I may be cold by tomorrow. I don't feel so hot now.
Oh, that's too bad. How's your pulse?
Oh, just ducky. How's yours?
The anesthetic, please.
I don't want any of that stuff.
Oh, it won't hurt you at all. You'll drift on and on, into oblivion.
Is that so? I hope it's a round trip.
Now, don't forget to count every time you take a breath.
Yeah, I'll fool you. I won't breathe. Oh, Doctor.
Yes, Charlie?
If the worst should come to the worst.
Yes.
If I should decease her.
Yes.
Would you see that Skinny Dugan gets my bicycle?
Oh, I see. If you die, you want to leave your bicycle to Skinny Dugan.
Yes. He's my pal.
Well, I shall see that Skinny will get your bicycle.
Yes. What?
Well, of course. Only if you should die.
Yeah. But you don't have to go out of your way, you know.
No. Put your head down.
Yes.
Now, let me cover your eyes.
Uh-huh.
Now, start counting.
1, 2. Oh, I smell embalming fluid.
Now, take a nice, deep breath.
I can see Skinny riding my bicycle. Oh, redwood for a nose. Oh, I'll get him with fields. That Bergen's a fake, too. Clang, clang. I feel so foolish.
Good evening, Dr. Bergen. I heard you were operating, and I just dropped in to see if there were any prospects.
Glad you called. Stand by, Mr. Gearfob. Oh, my, where am I? How long have I been sleeping? Is the operation over?
No, Charlie, we haven't started yet.
No?
No. I want you to meet my very good friend here, Mr. Donamici Gearfob.
No.
The Undertaker.
How do... Whoa! Wait a minute. Aren't you a little early here?
Is it?
Say, is this operation serious?
Oh, no.
No? Have you lost many patients, Doctor?
Only 2 of my patients have died.
Only 2?
Uh-huh.
How many have you had?
You're my third.
Yeah, let me out of here. Mr. Michi, when am I going to get to talk to Jose and Turby about playing chopsticks?
Now, please, Charlie, not now.
Bum, bum, bum. Can you hear me, Mother? Oh, now, Mr. Amici, you know, chopsticks, Turby, yes, no?
No, I'm sorry, not now, Charlie. Later. His battered hat is a joy to behold. His bulbous nose is a warning signal, especially to Charlie McCarthy. His crooked cane is a magic wand. They all merge to produce W.C. Fields. Well, how you feeling, Bill?
I'm feeling fine, Don. I just finished reading the synopsis of my new picture, The High Cost of Dying. They're making it over.
Now, please, Bill. You must absolutely refrain from using any names on this program. I got a letter today from Chase, well, you know who I mean.
Yeah, Chase, I know. Did Sanborn write? I got a letter from the both. I'll read it to you. There it is. Mr. W.C. Fields, Esquire. Care of Townsend Club. Idlewild Lodge, local number 6, Cucamonga, California.
Now, please, Bill, do you have to read all that?
Oh, just a moment. Dear W.C.
Bill, there's no use going any further.
Yeah, that's far enough, yeah. We're calling your attention to your remarks of the 29th ultimo, which cards will be forced to communicate with you prior to the 6th Proximo. What's all this ultimo Proximo business?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Oh, so you won't be dragged into it, eh? Yes, Chase Sanborn.
Now, Bill, please.
I'm still reading. Paramount.
I guess there's no way to put a stop to this.
Right here, I'd be patient on him. In conclusion, we tell you, all we seem to hear from you each week is Paramount.
Bill, listen.
Yours most respectfully, Chase and Sanborn.
That's over with.
P.S. Please remember.
Oh, now, Bill, this name business is growing into elephantine proportions.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Did I tell you the story about the elephant?
Yes, Bill. Yes, you talked about that elephant picture last week and exhausted the subject completely, and me too.
Did I tell you about scurvy breaking out amongst the extras?
Yes, you did.
Did I tell you there weren't enough ambulances to take him off the hospital? I didn't tell you that, did I?
No, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, there you are. We tied a Pullman car on the side of an elephant and packed the extras into that. One big, strong elephant called Tom. Did I tell you about Tom?
No, you didn't, but don't bother.
Oh, we strapped a dining car on each side of him. He carried one under his trunk. We tried to hang one on his tail, but he wouldn't stand for it. Every time he tried to switch the flies off him, we had a train wreck.
Well, what happened when you got to the hospital?
Oh, yes. Clang, clang, clang. What is the sound I hear?
Bill.
The ambulance is coming.
Bill, you've got this all mixed up. It isn't you going to the hospital this time. This was the extras.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Don. Thanks very much. On our way to the hospitals, one of the porters left a window open in the Pullman car, and the elephants caught scurvy. You ever hear of elephant scurvy?
No, I can't say that I did.
I remind me to tell you about it. All the elephants caught scurvy except Sophie. I once had an aunt named Sophie. She tried to do away with herself by hurling her buxom body at the rear of a train.
Well, now, wait a minute, Bill.
Huh?
People usually hurl themselves in front of a train.
Everybody does, yes, that's right. But Aunt Sophie was very backward. And you know, Don, she's as hale and hearty today as though she'd never taken a drink in her life.
Now, look, Bill. What happened when the elephants got to the hospital?
What'd you say?
I said, what happened when the elephants got to the hospital?
Oh, they wouldn't let them in the hospital. They gave us some lame excuse about the beds all being occupied. Don, did we get into trouble with those elephants? Pull up your chair, man. I want to tell you.
Speaking of old devil trouble, here comes Charlie McCarthy. Say, Bill, I don't think you ought to continue having any arguments with him. Everybody's talking about your feud.
I wouldn't dignify him by having a feud.
Oh, no. Don't be vindictive, Bill.
I'm not vindictive, but I certainly don't want that cord of wood on my knee. If Bergen wants to sit there, it's okay. But I don't want any part of him, Don. Did you ever get oak poisoning?
No.
Now, I'll look out for that guy.
Bill, I really believe he...
Oh, don't talk nonsense. You'll get people to thinking I don't like the rat.
Bill, will you shake hands with him?
And get splinters in my fingers? Positively no. Why, that little rat...
Quiet. Wait a minute, Bill. Well, hello, Charlie.
Oh, hello, Mr. Nietzsche. Hello, Mr. Fields.
Watch me being polite. Greetings, my diminutive little chum. I trust you are feeling fit this evening?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fields. I hope you're feeling fit.
I am, fit to be tied.
Well, Mr. Fields, I brought you a bouquet of flowers.
What you talking about now?
As a token of my friendship, a little nosegay.
Here it comes.
I hope you'll like it.
I've taken enough from that guy.
Why, what's the matter, Bill?
Look at that nosegay. Dog blossoms, poison ivy, and redwood for a nosegay.
Redwood for a nosegay, and an ample bit of it, too.
Go away, or I'll throw a grub on you.
Now, Bill, don't be too angry with Charlie. He isn't feeling well today. He needs a doctor.
He needs a tree surgeon. He didn't know when I was reading to Dorothy Lamar about burning of redwood at the opening of the new San Francisco Bridge, I heard him say, Fields better keep his nose out of that. Go away, leprosy. Now, did I ever tell you the director of our picture got leprosy?
No.
Yeah, they sent him to Molokai. We had to keep the extras on at half salary.
The extras at half salary?
Yeah, for 18 years. Pending the director's recovery.
Well, did he ever recover?
Oh, yes. The day he got back, the extras formed a group, making a welcoming speech and presented him with a fitted portmanteau. That means traveling bag.
Yes, I know.
I thought you did. Did I ever tell you about my grandmother's portmanteau? This was my grandmother on my father's side. She was on his hip for years. A great companion. She was a drunkard, too.
Bill, they gave the director a portmanteau.
Oh, yeah, you know about it, eh?
No, I'm merely quoting you.
Oh, they gave him a completely fitted portmanteau, a grip, satchel, cabba, keister, you know.
Yeah, I know, Bill. Are you
well,
going on?
Well, it was fully equipped with sleeping shoes, Eskimo mucklocks, folding golf clubs, a wire-haired brush, a wire-haired terrier to match, an old-fashioned razor, a set of dueling pistols, and a picture of the great commoner, William Jennings Bryan.
Imagine the extras putting together their little mite to show their gratitude and regard for that director.
Yeah, they also gave him a letter in a lavender envelope, fully scented, demanding double pay and leprosy insurance.
Well, that was only fair.
But now comes the interesting part of the picture. 2 elephants.
Excuse me, Bill.
One is the
Excuse me,
spell
Bill,
and
just
the
a
other
minute.
is the spell.
I'd like you to meet Miss Hutchinson.
Oh, yes. How do you do, Miss Hutchinson? How are you? 2 elephants, Tom.
Bill.
What?
This is Miss Josephine Hutchinson. This is Mr. Fields, Miss Hutchinson.
How do you do, Mr. Fields?
Oh, yeah. How are you? 2 elephants, Tom.
Bill. You know Josephine, don't you?
Oh, yes. I knew Napoleon, too. My father owned 2 skeletons of Napoleon.
Yeah, I know. One when he was a little boy and one when he was grown up.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm beginning to like Charlie McCarthy.
Well, anyhow, you ought to know Josephine Hutchinson. Remember that grand performance she gave as Alice in Alice in Wonderland?
Oh, yes. How are you, Alice?
No. Bill, look, Miss Josephine Hutchinson played Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, what do you think of that? That's remarkable. That's marvelous. What a coincidence. All right, Josephine, how are you? We had 2 elephants. One was
I'm feeling fine. I wish you were the same.
Yeah, I wish I could, too. I had 2 elephants once.
Yeah, I know you had 2 elephants. But, Miss Hutchinson, how about that famous Jabberwocky poem that Lewis Carroll wrote in Alice in Wonderland? We'd like to hear that, wouldn't we, Bill?
Speak for yourself. Let me out of this. Why don't you get rid of her? I want to tell you about the elephant.
Bill.
Alice in Wonderland. Oh, yes, I know. I played the egg in the picture version.
Oh, really? I know. You must have been the egg that fell off that 12-foot wall.
What a memory you have.
Mr. Fields, I've often wondered, when you fell off that wall, did you crack up?
I didn't bounce.
Miss Hutchinson, how about Jabberwocky?
Oh, the poem sounds rather silly, but it's amusing. So I fear nothing, and here goes. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves.
Did she say slimy too?
Quiet, Bill.
Did gyre and gimble in the waves.
Wait, she and her cups.
All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome rust outgraved. Beware the Jabberwock, my son.
Why don't you stop her? She's had too much liquor in her coffee. That's wonderful, Miss Henderson. Wonderful. Did you ever... Say, John, did you ever hear this one? Bruley cob, brittle cob trove, mrule, crab McClure, Trilio Brob, knock McClure, draw, Freebie Krantz, mrome. Pretty little thing, you like to think that down?
Bill, that's grand. But Miss Hutchinson was reciting a poem.
Oh, yeah, how rude of you, Don. Go ahead, Miss Send her relation to that Hutchinson, Topeka, and Kansas.
Beware the jub bird and shun the frumious bandit.
That reminds me of an incident that happened when I was in the Himalayas. I was up there with the Prince Ramsey Sinji, the Ketwar of Baroda and Cooch Bahar. We were killing tigers and civets in deepest Darjeeling.
Are you through now, Bill?
For the nonce, hand me a cup of tea, will you please?
Go ahead, Miss Hutchinson.
Now, this verse is especially for you, Mr. Fields. I know you appreciate good poetry.
Oh, yes, I do.
He took his vorpal sword
Bang,
and...
bang! We turned on the machine gun on the rhinoceros.
Long time the Manxon foe he sought.
The bullet struck against the rhinoceros' thick hide and nonchalantly dropped to the ground.
So rested he by the tum-tum tree.
The rhinoceros looked up at us with a grateful smile, licked up the bullets with her great big tongue.
And stood a while in thought.
And so she licked the bullets up with her big tongue. She thought we were feeding her Russian caviar.
And as in uppish thought...
Royal caviar, $80 a
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Amici, can I ask Mr. Turby now?
Now is the time, Charlie. Mr. Iturby, I want you to meet Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
How do you do? This is a great honor, Mr. Turby.
Thank you, Mr. Bergen.
That goes double for me. Yes, it does. And incidentally, Mr. Turby, we have a great deal in common.
Really? Don't tell me.
Yeah. Yes, I too am a pianist. And why shouldn't I be? I took lessons for 3 weeks. I paid as high as $1 for a half-hour lesson. Do you realize what that amounts to in 5 years?
Charlie, you said you only studied for 3 weeks.
Well, that's a very short time, after all.
Yes, well, but it's a mess of do-re-mi, believe me.
I can sympathize with you, Maestro McCarthy, because in Europe, I paid up to $1,000 for a lesson, you know?
Is he trying to make a punk out of me?
Yes, and Mr. Iturby studied for 20 years.
Is that so? They must have nicked you for quite a hunk, huh?
Tell me, do you know Mr. Bach and Mr. Chopin?
I don't think they took lessons from my teacher. You see, it was only a sideline with her. She was married. Her husband worked at the filling station. You see that...
All right. Mr. Turby is not interested in all that.
No?
No.
I find Charlie very interesting. I beg your pardon. If he will tell me his favorite number, I will try to play for him.
See, now that's nice. Well, I don't want to embarrass you, Jose. Will 4 sharps throw you?
Wait a minute. It will be difficult, but for you, I'll try it.
All right. My favorite number is chopsticks. I used to knock him in the aisles with that number.
All right, but may I suggest Parsifal without the orchestra or with the orchestra?
Yes, you may suggest it, but I still want chopsticks.
And then there's Tchaikovsky's Symphony Pathétique.
Yes. Gentlemen, my mind is made up. It's chopstick, and I am not to be dickered with.
Why must you be so rude, Charlie?
I haven't forgotten that $1,000 a lesson crack you made.
I see.
And I don't think he can even play chopsticks. If any man, not to mention any names, if he can play it, I think he should come right out and say so rather than beat around the piano.
All right, okay, I accept. I'm going to play for you chopsticks, but may I ask you, in which key do you prefer?
Which, getting technical, huh?
Well, Charlie, you've asked for it, and you're going to get it. Jose Iturby plays chopsticks. And that, Charlie, is chopsticks.
I've been framed, that's what I've been.
Yes, frankly, Charlie, you were. And the framers were Werner Jansen, who made that great musical arrangement, and, of course, Jose Iturby at the piano. Next Sunday at the same time, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, Werner Jansen, and I will have as our guests Ray Middleton and Constance Bennett. Until then, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir. is the Chase Sanborn Hour, and this is Donna Michi greeting you for one of the grandest actresses in pictures, Miss Constance Bennett, and for one of our outstanding young baritones, Mr. Ray Middleton. Greetings, too, from all the rest of us, W.C. Fields, Dorothy Lamour, Edgar Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy. Red-headed Charlie McCarthy is still very busy getting into trouble, and he does it so often it's hard to believe he isn't a real live person. But after all, Edgar Bergen must take all the blame for whatever Charlie says, for it was Edgar who whittled Charlie out of a piece of wood, put a top hat in his head, a monocle in his right eye, and does all the talking for him. Well, Charlie, you certainly look in the pink of condition. Your cheeks are nice and rosy, and there's a merry twinkle in your eye.
Yes, Mr. Michi, I'm as happy as a bird. Tweet, tweet. Charlie, I regret that I must dampen your spirits.
Yeah?
Yes. There's a little matter I must discuss with you.
What's that?
It's the subject of education.
Oh, yes. Splendid thing, that book learning. Splendid thing.
Yes. What I want to know is just how are you getting along with your schoolwork out here?
Oh, very nicely.
That's fine.
Nicely indeed, yes.
That's strange.
Is it?
Yes. For only the other day, I had a letter from Mr. Ramshackle saying that he was truant officer in this district. Yes. He has no record of your enrollment in any school.
Is that so?
Yes. And that he says that he's written you twice. Is that true?
That's a lie.
It's not true.
Fine. He's written 4 times.
4 times. Charlie, you don't mean to tell me that you've been skipping school, do you?
I didn't mean to tell you.
I didn't think so. No. In New York, you promised me, Charlie, that you would take this work seriously out here and that you would study hard.
Yeah, well, I was back in New York.
Yes, sir.
Well, believe me, Mr. Bergen, I have tried hard.
You have.
I've looked all over for a school out here.
Is that so?
Yes, but I'm a stranger.
Yes.
All alone out here. Every day I look for a school.
Is that so?
Yes. But it doesn't seem to make any difference what streetcar I take. I always end up at Ocean Park.
Is that You'll pay for this folly, young man.
Is that so?
Yes, you're just a ship without an anchor or a port.
Mm-hmm.
Just a butterfly drifting aimlessly before the breeze.
Oh, please don't say any more. I can't stand it.
Yes.
I hate myself.
Yes.
I'm a perfect cad, don't you know?
Yes, I know. Haven't you ever thought of the future, Charlie? Why don't you play fair with yourself?
Well, I have thought of it.
Well, that's fine.
Yes, only the other day I had a long talk with myself.
That's fine.
I spoke up, too.
I'll bet you did.
I didn't mince words.
That's fine. What did you say?
I said to myself, Charlie, old boy, Charlie. See, something like.
Yes.
I says, old boy, Charlie. See, I always call myself by my first name.
Yes, sir.
After all, why shouldn't I?
Yes, sir.
It was just an informal talk.
Yes, I know.
So I said, Charlie, old boy, what's going to become of you, see?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And what was the answer?
Well, you know, I had myself cornered.
You did. Well, Charlie, in these days of keen competition,
yes,
education is so necessary.
Oh, isn't it?
Yes. It's so essential to success.
Oh, how essential, yes.
Yes. And remember, Charlie, that knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge is the power that drives the vehicle of success.
Yes.
Now, where do you fit on this vehicle?
I'm the trailer.
That's what I thought.
Well, it's an old saying, Bergen, that a little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Yes.
Drink deep of the cup of knowledge or not at all. For a little drunkenness one. And I say a little snort now and then.
No. With that sort of an attitude, you can be positive of failure.
Well, it's nice to be sure.
Yes. Let me ask you this, Charlie.
Yes.
Where will you be 20 years from now?
I'll meet you there. Well, for that matter, wise guy, where would you be right now without me?
All right.
That burns him up. I'll hear more about that.
Yes.
I say experience is a good thing. It's a great teacher.
Yes.
Study alone doesn't make you a big man.
Well, I must admit that you're right there.
Yes. I wouldn't trade my experiences for anything. Take, for example, last fall in England, I went grouse shooting in the Scottish uplands with Lord Sittersfield for a fortnight.
You did?
Oh, what fun.
Yes. So you were grouse shooting in England?
Oh, definitely.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. I go every autumnal.
Oh, you do?
Oh, what fun.
Yes. Did you have any luck shooting?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, fine.
By the first day out, I I got 3 Cocker Spaniels.
And
the second day, I got a horse.
The horse.
And my host.
And your horse.
I don't miss a darn thing.
No.
If it moves, I shoot.
Yeah.
If anyone shoots, I move. There's more action.
Yeah. Young man, I don't believe you were in England.
No?
No. And I don't believe that you met Lord Sittersfield.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh, come now. Don't be a twerp.
Well, I don't believe you've ever been grouse shooting.
Oh, come. It's true. So help me.
It's true, no. I don't believe you.
Don't you believe me, really?
I really don't believe you.
It's true.
No.
You don't believe me, huh?
No.
That's embarrassing.
True. No.
Well, heck, I tried.
Yes, I know.
La, here we are. Oh, Mr. Nietzsche, I've written a play, and I'd like to cast you in it.
Oh, well, say, that's mighty nice of you, Charlie. What's the name of the play?
It's called Electric Light.
Electric Light?
Yes, it's a modern version of the play you just did, Candlelight. It's more powerful and shocking.
Well, say, that all sounds intriguing. Who's producing it?
I am. I'm directing it, too. Quite versatile, don't you think?
Oh, but definitely.
Yes. Now, in the first act, the beautiful Gwendolyn Gush, played by Dorothy Moore, enters and says, I love him, I adore him, I shall go mad if he does not return, see?
Oh, I see. Well, does Dorothy know she's playing this part?
Yes, she does, yes. We've been rehearsing at odd moments. Go ahead, Dorothy, show Mr. Nietzsche.
All right, Charlie, give me my cue.
Lights, orchestra. That's just curtain, swing it.
I love him. I adore him. I shall go mad if he does not return.
Uh-huh. See, isn't that convincing? Now, isn't that good? Isn't that wonderful, the way she lives that part? Say it again, Dorothy, this time with not so much emotion. After all, we're only rehearsing.
Yes, Charlie, give me my cue again, please.
Lights, orchestra, curtain, swing it.
Oh, I love him. I adore him. I shall go mad if he does not return.
Just read it. Don't tear it apart. Now, you see, Don, that establishes that she loves him. I hope.
Yeah, I see. But who's him?
Oh, that's just it. I don't ever tell, see. It's a mystery play. Then nobody enters until the second act. And then comes Horace Strongheart, the hero.
Oh, that's the part you want me to play, huh?
No, I'm sorry, Don. I've picked someone else for the leading part.
Who?
Me. But you'll get an opportunity.
Oh, I do. Well, what do I play?
You play my understudy, see? And you know I'm so sickly, I might get sick any time, see?
Oh, well, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be much in this for me. By the way, how much do you pay your actors?
Oh, it's no pay. It's a benefit performance. It's for a needy cause, see?
Yeah, well, may I ask what this needy cause is?
Well, it's because I need it. We're raising money for the Ricky Dicky Club for orphans. I'm head man there, too.
Oh, I see. How many members are in this club, Charlie?
I'm the only one.
That's just what I thought. And frankly, Charlie, I'm not quite satisfied with that understudy part. You better get someone else.
Well, no. Don't get so hasty. Some night I may get sick, and then you'll get to play the part, and the talent scout will see you, and you may get a screen test, maybe.
Well, that's a point to consider. But I still don't think I'll take it.
No?
No.
Well, now, how about if I give you a speaking part,
Oh, well, now, that's different.
Of course, it'll be less money.
If it's a fat part, I'll sacrifice money for art. Do I have any long, sustained scenes?
Well, yes and no. At the end of the third act, the door opens, and in you come, see?
Yeah.
And then you say, yippee.
Yippee, yippee, yippee!
No, cut that out. You're building up your part again. Just one yippee. You gotta watch them.
Well, look, what kind of a costume do I wear for this tremendous dramatic effort?
Well, you're sort of the cowboy, shepherd boy. You have the crook in your hand, see?
Oh, I get it. A gangster part, huh?
No, it's a shepherd crook, you know. And if you do a good yippee, we'll give you the crook. And if you don't, we'll give you the hook.
Yippee! Let me know when the first rehearsal comes along, Charlie, so I can be sure and miss it.
Yeah, oh.
Did you ever expect trouble and look forward to it?
Well, that's the spot I'm in right now, for with the arrival of Bill Fields, my trouble begins, and I love it. So come on, Trouble, and welcome W.C. Fields. Hello, Bill. How you feeling?
I feel fine, Don. How are you?
Well, I was all right up to now.
Fear not, my Bonamie. Get that one, Don? Isn't it good? Bonamie. Rather tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, I got it.
I thought it up myself. I had 2 elephants once.
Now, Bill. That's just one of the things you shouldn't say. Now, you know very well.
Don't tell me I know. I got a memorandum on the way in. Here it is. I'll read it to you, Don. Number 1. Don't mention the picture company you're working for.
That's correct. That's right.
They evidently mean Paramount Moving Picture Corporation. Adolf Zucker, the president.
Now, Bill, please.
Little fella.
Please.
I'm reading, Don. Number 2, don't mention the coffee concern you're working for.
That's right.
Chase Sanborn.
Oh, now, Bill, please.
I'm still reading, Don.
All right.
Donald Briggs will tell the public that Chase Sanborn coffee is putting bags scientifically treated to withstand the air, rain, elements, thunder.
Oh, now, Bill.
Protected against fire, threats, and cyclones while traveling in Mexico and the Dominion of Canada and the Gobi Desert of Mongolia.
Bill, please.
Chase Sanborn coffee and dinosaur eggs a la papa is relished by the Gobyites.
Well, are you through?
For the nonsense.
Okay. Now, don't number 3. Don't mention elephants. Elephants get under my skin.
You sure they're elephants, Don?
I'm not changing the subject, Bill. Where did you get that badge you're sporting on your manly chest?
All this was given to me by Biscaloos.
You don't mean Sheriff Biscaloos.
I don't mean Pip and Bill's blind aunt. Biscaloos and I were very dear friends. I met him once vacationing in Alcatraz prison.
Alcatraz?
Yeah, it's a big iron boarding house. Clang, clang, clang. We are the boys from Alcatraz.
Bill, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, I'm singing. We don't belong to the regulars. They send us every year. A little throaty there. Go ahead.
Look, what brought you to Alcatraz,
I was
Bill?
rehearsing Romeo.
Oh, you mean Romeo and Juliet?
No, just Romeo. In the midst of rehearsals, I was suddenly whisked away to Alcatraz.
Well, you must have been a pretty bad actor.
There were extenuating circumstances, Don. I was very excited.
And they sent you to Alcatraz prison for rehearsing Romeo and Juliet?
Wait, Don. We had no balcony in our modest little home, so I had taken a ladder with me to a neighbor's chateau. I had gently placed the ladder against the balcony, and with great caution ascended.
Yeah, go on, Bill. You were ascending the ladder.
Oh, yes. Then suddenly, instead of Juliet, who should appear on the balcony but a new character in the guise of a constable? Followed by 3 other Mounties.
Mounties?
Well, imagine my great amazement and consternation when the officer suddenly discovered that I had been framed. Someone had inadvertently or maliciously placed a pearl necklace in my pocket. Odd pieces of jewelry.
Yes?
A cameo of Martha Washington. Some knives and forks.
Yes, go on, Bill.
And while I had my back turned, some villainous wag, some malcontent, evidently a red, had stuck a bag in my hand filled with silver. A silver dining set, 2 plates and 1 cup missing. Gold candelabra, one of the candles still burning.
One of the candles still burning?
Yes, that attracted the Mounties' attention. Don, the ignominy of it all.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Bill. You were framed.
Yes, I was framed like my poor dear father before me. The kindly old fellow, a picture of man. They finally framed him and hung him in the old courthouse in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Bill, how did you get that badge?
Oh, do you want me to tell the whole thing over again right from the beginning, Don?
No. In fact, I'm sorry I heard it the first time.
Excuse me, Don. Am I intruding?
Well, frankly, Edgar, I'm glad you're here.
I hope I didn't interrupt anything important.
Oh, not at all, Edwin, not at all.
Bill, I just came here to tell you something about Charlie.
I know enough about him already.
Now listen, Mr. Fields, I got a bone to pick with you.
Take your head off.
Say whiz, Mr. Field. Now, you've got Charlie all upset, Bill. He's tried all sorts of ways to make friends with you.
Yes, I've had people intercede for me, and I brought you a bouquet of flowers.
No, go on.
Now I don't know what to do nor where to go.
I can tell you where to go and what to do. You want me to go into details?
I don't know. No matter what I say, it seems to be the wrong thing.
Then sew a button on your lip.
Now, Bill, Charlie really isn't feeling well at all. Look how pale he is.
He needs a new coat of paint, a little varnish fire foam. Those teeth again. Yeah. Little furniture varnish.
Mr. Field, my mind is made up. I'm determined to fight fire with fire.
You know what happens to the little boys who play with fire?
No. Don't mind Charlie, Bill. His bark is really worse than his bite.
I'll rip off his bark and bite off his limbs.
This is going far enough. I've been a little gentleman up to now, but now, Mr. Fields, I'll clip you so help me, I'll mow you down. That's all.
Go away or I'll stick a woodpecker on you.
Well, I don't know what to do about this, Bill. You know, Charlie holds you very dear.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of deers, I saw a deer killed by a train this morning out in the country.
Was the deer on the railroad track, Mr. Field?
Yeah, no. The train ran up into the woods after him. Caught him between two trees and pounced on him. What's the matter with that kid?
While we're on the subject of deers, here's a real deer, Miss Constance Bennett. Miss Bennett, this is W.C.
Charlie McCarthy, I'm so glad to see you. You're so cute.
This is me over here.
Yes, but this is W.C.
And Edgar Bergen, I want to congratulate you on that grand opening Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Miss Bennett, this is W.C.
Mr. Bergen, I really think you're the cleverest person I've ever met. And little Charlie is by far the funniest.
She's practically left nothing to say about me.
Miss Bennett, surely you know W.C.
And Don, I saw the opening of your new picture, and I think it's grand.
She doesn't know his picture isn't finished yet.
Charlie, you're looking better every day.
Why shouldn't he? He just had a new coat of paint.
Bill, you know Miss Bennett, don't you?
Oh, yeah, sure. I know Connie.
Constance Bennett is the name.
Oh, yes, I know. How's your pappy?
I'm happy to report that my pater, Mr. Richard Bennett, is exceedingly well.
We're talking about your father, aren't we?
I presumed as much.
The last time I saw him, I think he was playing one of the uncles in Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Twaddle.
Oh, was it Twaddle? Yeah. I went around the stage door, and we went on to one of those places that, what do they call it? The swinging door, you get liquor.
I know, a cocktail lounge.
Oh, yes, that's it, a saloon. Yeah, it was a hot night. We were both awfully thirsty. You ever get thirsty, Connie?
The answer is no, and Constance Bennett is the name.
Oh, you don't get thirsty, eh? You told me the name. Your father and I used to get very thirsty together.
Mr. Fields, if you will excuse me, I know for a positive fact that my father loathes, abhors, and abominates alcohol.
Yes, I know it has many uses. We used to drink it, too.
Well, I have to toddle along now, but I'm certainly glad I had the opportunity, Don, to tell you, Charlie and Edgar, how much I enjoyed your company and your performance.
Yeah, she's awfully nice, isn't she?
And I want you three to come up with me right after the show and have tea.
What, no crumpet? I'm awfully sorry that I'll be busy. I won't be able to go along.
Well, come, Charlie. Come, Edgar.
Okay.
See you later. Toodaloo.
Yeah, toodaloo. Say, you know, Bill, I'd say she wasn't very crazy about you.
Oh, yes, the Bennetts are a great family for suppressing their emotions. She's probably very fond of me in her own peculiar way.
Well, she's a very nice person and a grand trooper.
Oh, yeah, she's wonderful. Did I tell you the time she was playing in Did she ever play in Mincemeat Burlesque?
Certainly not, Bill.
No,
Certainly not.
No, I got no mention with the Theater Guild again.
Yeah, she's a great actress and a very kind person.
Oh, she's very kind, Don, very kind. I remember once a child was run over in front of the theater where she was playing. Was run over by a pie wagon.
A pie wagon?
Yes, pies all over the street. Lemon, custard, apple, mint, donut, absinthe.
Donut? I never heard of that, Bill.
Quiet, Mr. McGee. Connie, Constance, Miss Constance Bennett. Ran after the ambulance.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
When she arrived at the hospital, one of the doctors said a blood transfusion was necessary. Connie...
Who?
Oh, Miss Constance Bennett, excuse me, Don. She rolled up her sleeves and said, "May it please you, good doctor, I offer my blood." She was very polite to him.
Did Connie do that?
Miss Constance Bennett, Don. Yeah, she did.
Well, say, that's wonderful. She gave her blood, and the child got well?
No, the child froze to death.
You old rascal. Where did you get that story, Bill?
William Claudius Fields to you, please, Missy. And I never reveal the source of my information. But really, Connie, you're looking more beautiful than ever, if that's possible. How about a little smack for the old codger?
So there's ice in my veins, is there?
Oh,
Take
Connie. Connie, dear. I thank you. I was a chump for ever letting you get away from me. I should have never listened to my parents.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. As usual, we get the invitations and Bill Fields gets the results. Thank you, Miss Constance Bennett, and thank you very much, W.C. Fields. Ray Middleton, whose dramatic baritone voice has brought him to Hollywood and pictures, is an actor, and a fine one, as well as a singer. For a year on Broadway, he played the dramatic lead in Roberta. For us, Ray combined singing and acting in Jacques Wolfe's famous spiritual Glory Road.
Glory Road, oh, Glory Road. Oh, Mr. Middleton, that was well done. Excellent rendition.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your fortissimo was so pianissimo that it sort of brought out the allegro and the adagio, and vice versa, too. And when I say that, I'm not speaking as a layman, but as a man who knows absolutely nothing about the subject.
Oh, it's easy to see, Charlie, that you have more than a passing knowledge of music.
Yes, and we would think you had more knowledge if you didn't pass it out.
That's Amici, the jealousy, that's all that is. You know, Mr. Middleton, I have much in common, you and I, you know. I, too, am a singer.
What type of song do you sing?
Well, I lean towards the bad salad. I mean the sad ballad. Such as, I'm only a cage in a gilded bird. I used to sing better. I think Bergen was out last night. No, not completely, no. Mr. Middleton, isn't it true that a voice... No, it isn't true, all right.
Do you practice a great deal, Ray? Now, listen, Charlie, you may learn something.
Well, I always start my voice exercises by running a scale.
Oh, there you are. Now, Charlie, can you run a scale?
Can I? I can run it ragged. I ran one for 3 days once, finally disappeared up an alley. Listen. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, etc., etc. I can go higher, but I won't be responsible.
Can you hit high C?
Well, if I don't hit it on the way up, I'll knock it off coming down.
I hope sometimes, Ray, that you'll sing my favorite, Home on the Range.
Yeah, I like Home on the Range, too, especially in wintertime. Home on the range, with the steam coming up for a change. When it's 40 below and the icy winds blow, I love to sit home on the range.
Charlie, that's really great singing, and you're definitely held over by popular demand. I'm saying au revoir now for our guests, Constance Bennett and Ray Middleton, And for our regular company, W.C. Fields.
I had 2 elephants once, Don.
Yes, Bill, I know. You told me.
Next week I tell you about my 10 years in the frozen north without a hot water bottle. Well, my feet cold.
Next week, if I can't stop you, you can tell all of us, including Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, and Werner Jansen. As our guests, we shall have Miss Joan Blondell.
Joan Blondell?
Yes, Charlie, Joan Blondell.
Be still my fluttering heart. Yippee!
And Rogers and Hart, who have written 2 brand new songs especially for us. Next Sunday at the same time, we'll all be greeting you. So until then, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir.
This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour.
And this is Don Amici greeting you for one of the screen's most delightful comedians, Miss Joan Blondell. And for those heavenly twins of the musical world, Dick Rogers and Larry Hart. Greetings, too, from W.C. Fields, Dorothy Lamour, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and Werner Jansen. Going with the wind, his top hat clamped on his red head and his monocle screwed in his right eye, Charlie McCarthy is about 2 jumps ahead of the truant officer and only 2.5 jumps ahead of a spanking. But nobody'd risk hand spanking Charlie, even if he is made of soft pine. But it's a safe bet Edgar Bergen can talk Charlie out of any kind of trouble because it's really Edgar who puts the words in Charlie's mouth. I hope, Edgar, that you have cleared everything with the truant officer and that you have enrolled Charlie in a school.
Well, it's not as simple as all that, Don.
No, it isn't.
No. But I've had another letter from Mr. Ramshackle, the truant officer, and he's liable to arrive here and get Charlie any minute.
Well, he'll have some time to get me because I've locked all the doors around here and I've swallowed the keys.
Oh, I see.
If he does show up, I'm going to take the air route out of here.
The air route?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm leaving through the ventilator.
I see. Well, now listen, young man.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be any part of this.
No.
No, listen. You're only cheating yourself out of an education.
Is that so?
Yes. Now, don't count on me for protection, for I'm not going to be a part of this scheme of yours.
Oh, is that so?
No.
Well, suppose I do go to school. Suppose I do. So what?
Well, it means a great deal to have your name read Charlie McCarthy, LLD, or PhD.
Yes.
Now, it's up to you how it's going to read.
Yes. Well, I like Charlie McCarthy, RFD.
RFD.
For that matter, I've already had a title of MD.
MD?
Yeah, mental deficient.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, you're all right, Charlie.
I think so, yes.
Yes. There are just a few wheels out of order up here in your head.
Well, I'll keep my hat on. It won't show.
No. But, young man, you can't hide ignorance.
No.
No. Every time you speak, you reveal your knowledge or your lack of knowledge.
Is that so?
Yes. For example, if a man should come up to you and say, "Will you borrow me $10? What do you think of that?
Very little.
Very little. You know he lacks education.
Yes.
Why?
Well, if he had any sense at all, he'd know I didn't have $10.
I see. Now, if he should say, "Can you loan me $10? What's the difference?"
There's no difference at all. I'm still broke.
I see.
At school, I was known as a 3-letter man. I owe you.
A shameful record.
Is that so? What kind of a student were you, Mr. Bergen?
Well, in all my school years, I can boast of a record of never having failed in any subject.
Yeah?
Can you say the same?
Well, yes, but not with such a straight face.
Oh,
dear. I don't know. I just don't understand schooling. I don't know. If I don't go to school, the truant officer comes after me. And if I do go, they flunk me out.
Life is complicated, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's so complicated that I think if a person is lucky if he isn't born at all. Of course, that seldom happens.
How do you do, gentlemen? Can you tell me where I could find Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy?
Yes. Us is them. I mean, we's is those. I'm it.
Well, now, look, which one is which?
Well, that's him, and I'm me.
Well, which one is the stupid one?
Well, there's been a good deal of discussion about that.
I would like to talk to you if I'm not intruding.
Oh, not at all. Come in.
Thank you. I am Mr. Ramshackle, the truant officer.
Oh, get out. Don't you dare to interrupt us here.
Oh, so you're Charlie McCarthy, hmm?
No, not me. My name is Axel Carlson. I just came over here 3 years ago.
Now, look, you can't fool me, McCarthy. Why don't you tell the truth?
Why don't you blow your nose?
I guess you don't know what I'm here for, hmm?
Well, what are you going to do, Mr. Ramshackle?
And there's only one road for me to take.
Why don't you take it? You take the high road and I'll take the alley.
All right.
That boy must come with me.
I'll go, but if you take me away from Bergen, I'll never say another word.
That boy is sadly in need of schooling. That is shown by his marks forwarded from New York. They read D in spelling, D in arithmetic, D in deportment, and D in effort.
I was fresh out of effort.
There's very little to be said for that. Nothing but D's. Very little to be said for that.
Well, at least I'm consistent.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but it doesn't read very well. D, 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 D.
It sounds better if you sing it. D, 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 D. Bum, 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 here we are. 899 and a bum, bum, bum. Take it away, Nietzsche.
Thank you, Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to present a one-act dramatic epic entitled Summer. Conceived, written, produced, and directed by Charles McCarthy. Starring C. McCarthy, one of the matinee idols of the American stage, and featuring Dorothy Lamour, an actress. Scenery designed, painted, and created by Senor Carlos McCarthy. Shrubbery and landscaping is in McCarthy Park, the courtesy of McCarthy Planters Incorporated. Incidental music composed by Charles and McCarthy. It is a hot day in July. The female, Dorothy Lamour. The handsome and debonair tar, Charlie McCarthy. Curtain.
Oh, summer.
Summer. Oh, summer. What is so hot as a day in July? Hello?
Hello. Ain't it hot?
You said it, babe. It was hotter last night, wasn't it?
You said it, babe.
And how?
Are you a poet, sailor?
No, I'm a sailor poet.
Oh, I love ships in the summer. What ship are you often?
I'm often, yes, McCarthy. Often on it.
Oh, I love the sea. Especially in the summer, don't you?
Don't mind if I do, no. Have you ever been to sea?
To see what?
Oh, skip it, landlubber.
Then you are a sailor, ain't you?
Yes, and how? Oh, standing on the deck and letting the salt spray hit you in the mug. And boy, do I get seasick.
You're nice, you know it.
Sure. I'm especially nice in summer. Summer, a voice is calling.
Ain't it the truth? Oh, I just love weather.
And I love you.
Oh, you sailors. I bet you got a sweetheart in every port.
No, not in summer. I don't do so good in summer.
Then I love you.
Mind if I sit down on a bench with you?
There ain't really room enough for two on this bench, sailor.
Mind if I sit on your lap just because it's summer?
But I don't even know your name.
I'll tell you after I sit on your lap. What song is that the orchestra's playing?
I don't hear no orchestra.
Neither do I. Must be the music in the soul. I always have music in my soul in summer. Summer, a voice is calling.
You're the nicest man I ever met in the Navy, in the summer. Have you any friends on the ship?
Oh, gobs and gobs and gobs. Say, girl, how about stepping out for a fast little Lindy hop at McCarthy's Dance Palace?
You ain't asking me really to go, are you?
Well, that was the general idea.
Gosh, I love to dance in the summer. But McCarthy charges $1 for men.
Yeah? Have you got $1?
Wait, I'll look.
Better look for $1.25. I may need lunch money.
I just got $1.25. Lucky for us, McCarthy lets ladies in free.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you do. What we'll do now. You go in and dance, and I'll wait for you outside. Let me hold the money.
Oh, you're so thoughtful.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, summer. Summer beautiful and summer dumb.
Okay. Say, look.
Look, what
Look at my dress. It's got stripes all over it. Oh, gosh, I can't go.
Yeah, look at my sailor suit. Looking like ex-convict. That's summer for you.
Summer?
Yeah, it never fails. They always paint those park benches in summer. Ain't winter wonderful?
Oh, winter.
Ah, yes, indeed, winter. And for Miss Lamore and myself, thank you. The Chase and Sanborn Hour and Don Amici may now continue.
Thank you, Charlie. There comes a time in the life of every man when he must take hold of himself, brace his shoulders back, and face the unknown future with a courage and a smile. This is my moment. So chin up, Amici, eyes front, forward march, and carry on, W.C. Fields. Well, how you feeling,
that,
Bill?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't like that carry on, W.C. Fields.
Oh.
Sounds as though I drink, Don. As a matter of fact, I feel rather horticumba. Means I don't feel well. I got a misery of cold.
Oh, well, say, that's too bad, Bill. How did you catch it?
Don, you've heard the old adage, build a better mousetrap than thy neighbor, and the world will beat a path to your door in the woods.
Yeah, sure, I've heard that, but what's that got to do with your cold?
Well, I built a mousetrap, and I sat outside waiting for somebody to beat a trap to my path to my door for over a fortnight. And I caught a terrific cold.
Well, look, Bill, why didn't you wait inside the house?
Don, you didn't wait for the cough. All right. Oh, there wasn't any house, Don. It didn't say anything in the book about building a house. Just at a door. I had a mousetrap, had a candle in it, Don.
Why was a candle in it, Bill?
So the rats could find their way in. When the rats got in the trap, I would blow the candle out, and the rats couldn't find themselves way out.
Oh, that was an ingenious idea, Bill.
Yeah, that's true, Don. Very true. How true. So true. But I had another idea, Don. The procedure was to sneak up behind the rat, get him by the nape of the neck with a forefinger and thumb. Squeeze his dainty little neck tightly. When he opened his mouth in a futile attempt to scream for help.
Wait a minute, Bill. Who ever heard of a mouse screaming for help?
Oh, yes. Save me, I'm entrapped, screamed the dainty little rat.
Hey, Bill, please.
But I prefer a death like that in preference to a death by cat. Good logic, Don.
Oh, yeah. But, Bill, you've got the rat and his mouth is open.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Oh, whilst the rat's mouth is open, whilst the maw is thus distended, you reach in your vest pocket and throw a generous portion of sand. Grade A sand if available.
Yes, Bill.
Grade B will do.
Go on, Bill.
You throw a generous portion of sand down the rat's esophagus. Now, throat. By the way, Don, my hourglass is running slow. Have you a little quicksand in your vest pocket?
No, Bill. Now you pour sand down the rat's throat, and then what happens?
The rat gently chokes to death, an ideal death, but rather rough on rats.
That's a terrific idea, Bill.
I thought of it, yes, okay.
When did you invent that?
Oh, I invented it the year that the Crud boys murdered their mother.
Oh, now, Bill, please.
Which 1936, 1920, no, 1780. I'm bad on dates, Don. Yet a great lover of pigs. I could have forgotten that one, too. Okay.
Just a minute, Bill. Just a minute. Hello, Miss Blondell.
Hello, Don. Come, Rollo. Mr. Fields will tell you some funny stories, I hope.
We have visitors. A couple of Gilpins entering.
Come, Rollo, meet Mr. Fields.
Oh, I don't want to meet him. I don't want to meet
him. Oh, yes, you do. I know you do.
It's going to be very pleasant.
Bill, you know Joan Blondell, don't you?
Oh, yes. How are you, Joan? We had your sister Connie here last week.
Bill, you're all confused. Last week we had Connie Bennett. Joan Bennett is Connie Bennett's sister.
Sure, everybody knows that, Don.
Yeah, but Bill, this is Joan Blondell. You're thinking of Joan Bennett.
Don't tell me who I'm thinking of. I'm still thinking of Connie.
I see you have still some of that Constance Bennett lipstick on your cheek.
If you look closely, you'll see it's a scar. Hasn't healed up yet.
Yeah, she didn't kiss him, she bit him.
Quiet, Rollo.
Yes, do be quiet.
Bill, this is Miss Joan Blondell.
Oh, yes. Hello, Joan.
I'm fine, Bill. I hope you won't hate me for this, but I want you to meet my nephew, Rollo Peppertone.
Peppertone, eh? What a pretty name.
Say hello to Mr. Fields, Rollo.
I don't like him.
Oh, he's a cute little fellow, isn't he? John, what does a beautiful girl like you have a pickle like that around?
I didn't pick my relatives, Bill. Go ahead now, Rollo. Say hello to Mr. Fields.
Hello, Mr. Redwood. Kong, kong, kong. Ha, ha, ha.
Kong, kong, kong. Isn't he cute? That's where I'll sock him in a minute, right on the mouth. What reformatory or what school does he attend?
Bill, I know this is hard to believe, but Rollo was talking about you all the way over here.
Don't tell me what he said. Let it go.
Ha, ha, ha. They call you W.C., don't they? W.C., some name. Ha, ha, ha.
What a lovable little nipper. Come here and put your neck between my fingers. Sit down here, little boy.
But where?
Sit down here and play with some broken glass. Now, you know it's 150 years ago today that Washington threw $1 across the Potomac?
Yeah, I know.
And
$1 would go further in those days. Ha, ha, ha.
Yes. Rather confusing little fellow, isn't it?
Yes, isn't he? He'd be very good looking if his teeth were straight.
Yeah. I may be able to straighten them for you. Or even remove some of them. If he doesn't keep quiet. Don, does his nose bleed easily?
I don't know, Bill.
We'll find out a little later. You know, Don, that was the year a letter carrier was shot through the heart in front of the post office in Azusa. They
mistook him for a Confederate soldier. Ha, ha, ha.
Now, quiet, Rollo, please. Isn't he smart, Mr. Fields?
Yes, he is. A smart little fellow. He's very smart. He'll grow up to be a sucker for every con man in the country. Don, why is it every Sunday I seem to run into an accident on my way over here?
Are you referring to Rollo or Charlie McCarthy, Bill?
Oh, no, Don. I saw a dog. Charlie's no accident. Don, he's a product of a highly skilled carpenter. I was over at the airport and saw a dog kill. Remind me of the day when poor little Bobby Breen's dog was killed. I heard about it over the radio. I sobbed like a young bride. The tears ran down my chest and the back of my neck. Cockeyed sentiment, I suppose, Don. Half a tick, I'll snap out of this. I think you're
Bill,
all right now, Don. Yes,
Bill,
go
what
ahead.
about the dog that you saw killed at the airport?
Oh, yes. The dog ran out to greet the airplane. The airplane hit him. I shudder at the thought.
Where did the plane hit the dog, Bill?
Oh, please, Joan, please. Let me collect my nerves.
Was the dog running around the ground on the airport, Mr. Fields?
Yeah. No. He had on a couple of water wings and was cruising about 5,000 feet up in the air. That's another one of those kids. Was the deer on the railroad track. You know? Does he have a brother, Joan?
No,
Fine to have the two of them.
That was an awful accident, Bill.
Oh, yes, it was. The accident scared a horse, so they jumped through a barber shop window. The barber, Mr. O'Hare, barely escaped with his life. All right, it says a close shave here. You don't like the line?
Oh, yeah, it was a close shave. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, that's right. I thought he wasn't old enough to remember that answer. Little line shine.
Oh, Rollo, you're marvelous. You know, you're wonderful.
Yeah, I know it.
He admits it.
Let me introduce myself, Rollo.
I know. You're Charlie McCarthy. You said Redwood for a nose. Oh, boy, some nose.
What a combination. Poison ivy and blood poison. Why does everyone take an avid delight in running down my nose, Don?
There's enough room to run up and down your nose. Ha, ha, ha.
And there's a society for the prevention of cruelty to children.
Come on, Rollo. Let's gang up on him. You clip him and I'll mow him down.
Yeah, come on, let's get him.
Now, you keep out of this or I'll pull off one of Charlie's legs and beat your brains out.
Don't be afraid, Rollo. We gonna lick him.
Go away, McCarthy. I'll prune every twig off your body.
Don't you really like children, Bill?
Sure, I like them. If they're properly cooked. Browned on one side.
Now remember, Rollo, you'll be a good boy and you'll grow up to be just like Mr. Fields.
Oh, I didn't do nothing.
Don't cry, Rollo. Uncle Willie will bring you a nice little bunny rabbit.
And an open-faced razor, too.
Goody, goody.
Goody, goody, isn't he bright?
And will you bring me a nice little necktie for my nice little Nicky?
Yes, I'll also bring you a little scrub and brushy for your necky. That kid ever wash his neck?
I don't know, Bill. I've only had him with me for 3.5 months.
I thought he smelled rather fragrant.
What are you going to bring me, Mr. Fields?
I'll bring you a wooden leg.
Huh?
You'll need it because I'm going to break this one. These kids are driving me to drink.
Why, Bill, I read in a book once that liquor deteriorates the brain.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Joan. My father drank liquor and was one of the most alert men until the very day he died.
Is that so, Bill?
Yes. Had one of those hair-trigger brains. You know, binge. Well, now, I bet he drank a case of whiskey, all in moderation, of course. Mind was just as clear and keen as a buggy whip.
He must have been a marvelous man, Bill.
Oh, yes. My Peter Noster was a marvelous man. He once went up in a balloon to accompany a lonesome parachute jumper. He got up 10,000 feet in the air.
Go on, Bill. This is excruciatingly interesting.
Yes, it was cold up there. My father was cold and stiff. I know he was cold. He was stiff before he went up, too. Father let go of the parachute. He took a chance of landing on a load of hay.
Well, did he land on the load of hay, Bill?
No, Don. He landed in a cement mixer.
Was your father hurt?
Yeah, no. How can a man get hurt jumping 5,000 feet into a cement mixer? What's the matter with that
I think we
kid?
better get these kids out of here, Don.
I'll find out his
Before any further destruction takes place, come, Rollo, come, Charlie.
I'll have a wild
Thank you,
monkey
Miss
bite
Joan
him on the
Blondell, and
stomach.
thank you very much, W.C. Fields.
Oh, Mr. Amici, May I bend your ear for a minute?
Why, what's on your mind, Charlie?
Well, I would a word or two with you and Dick Rogers and Larry Hart.
Well, you know, that's strange. They expressed a desire to meet you.
Yeah, what's strange about that? Everybody does. Oh, Mrs. Rogers and Hart.
Yes, Charlie. Charlie, my boy.
I'm glad to have this chance to have a talk with you two boys. You know, after all, we have much in common. I, too, write songs.
You do?
Yes. Yes, I do. I don't sell any, but I write them.
You write the music, too?
Oh, but definitely. I write music that can't even be played.
That's remarkable.
I'm saying au revoir now for our guests, Joan Blondell and Rogers and Hart, and for our regular company, W.C. Fields.
That was the year Brian ran for president.
Brian ran for president.
Yes, he did. Did you never hear about that?
No.
Oh, it's a long story. It's a whole 15 minutes. I have to wait on that one.
We'll have to say
Short
Bill.
pants were considered au fait, meaning okay for boys.
Yes, I know, Bill. I know.
I thought you did. Next week, I'm going to tell about my trip to the North Pole on a high-wheel velocipede.
A high-wheel velocipede?
That's without a compass.
Oh, well, say, that would be interesting, Bill.
Yeah, it would
We'll
be
have
interesting if I could think of it right now. But I can't.
We'll have to save that for next week, Bill.
All right.
And with us next week will be Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy,
Oh, that's
Dorothy
right.
Lamour and Werner Jansen.
Oh, she's beautiful, and he is too.
And as our guests, Ray Middleton.
Oh, he's a pip.
And Miss May Robeson.
Oh,
We'll all be on hand to greet you, so until next Sunday.
Listen here, you know. Can I play the face in the barroom floor?
We'll all be
play
on
the barroom?
We'll all be on hand to greet you, so until next Sunday at the same hour, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici.
And I'll be in the barroom, too, you can bet that.
Saying au revoir.
Is that all? Yeah.
This is Don Amici greeting you for the grand old lady of the stage and screen, Miss May Robeson, and for Master Grisha Goluboff, who at the age of 14 is one of the great violinists of our day. Greetings, too, from W.C. Fields, Dorothy Lamour, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and Werner Jansen. Charlie McCarthy's days of playing hooky are over. Even though Edgar Bergen is around to give voice to Charlie's excuses, down must go the bitter pill of knowledge. So, Edgar, in the interest of Charlie's education, I have asked Mademoiselle Fifi Pomme de Terre to tutor him in languages. I hope she helps him.
That's nice of you, Don. I hope Charlie appreciates your efforts in his behalf.
That's all I do. Yeah. I only wish Amici'd mind his own P's and Q's and X's, you know what I mean?
Mademoiselle Pomme de Terre, this is Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, bonjour, Charlot. Oh, il est bien gentil, ce petit bonhomme.
Oh, oui, très charmant.
All right. Now, Mademoiselle, are you Amici's friend or are you my tutor?
Certainement, I am your tutor.
Well, start tutoring.
What language do you want to learn? French? Yes? No?
Huh?
Well,
I think that would be very good. He will learn French.
Yeah, didn't take me long to decide, did it?
Charlot.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Bergen, he is your father?
Bergen, my father? Oh, no. Things aren't as bad as all that.
No, you see, Charlie is an orphan.
Yes, I am. Yes.
As a matter of fact, I know very little about his parents, you understand.
Yes.
Yes, I found him on the doorstep one morning when he was 2 days old.
Yes. How I got there, I'll never be able to figure out. What a night that was. It was the gypsy in me.
I imagine so.
Yes.
On a doorstep and only 2 days old?
Yeah, and stealing milk, too.
Oh.
Petit imbécile.
Je suis,
Monsieur, do you know anything about the beautiful country of France?
Well, yes. 3 years ago, come this, what May, I visited the continent. I became rather clubby with a baroness. I met her at a spa.
Oh, what spa?
Nest spa. You beg for it.
Have you been to Paris? Yes, no?
Oh, yes, no, yes. I spent 3 days in Paris. Oh, Paris in the spring, chestnuts in the bois, and that champagne. Oh,
Ah, yes, the Champs-Élysées is beautiful.
Yes, that too, yes. But, Charlie, you can't see Paris in 3 days. No, I found that out. I didn't have time to see the things I shouldn't see. But what fun. Yes. Those were the days. Yes, and the nights weren't so bad either.
Where did you go?
Well, the first night I went to the Folie Bergère. Mm-hmm. And the second night? The second night to Folie Bergère. I do everything thoroughly. And the third night, well, I didn't have anything to do, so I went to the Folie Bergère.
But did you see the paintings of the great masters at the Louvre? Oh, what etchings.
Yes. And the monkeys in the zoo, what scratching. That's one of the old chestnuts in the bois. Yes. Yes. Did you visit the Louvre, Charlie? Well, my dear Mr. Bergen, if you ever visit the Louvre, you'll never forget it. No. Oh, it's so impressive. It's so impressive. But did you visit the Louvre? Well, I remember one morning after breakfast, passing that impressive building, and I said to myself, that's the Louvre. There hangs the work of the great masters. But did you visit the Louvre? Did you? Well, no. Not actually, I see. I hate myself for not having done it, yes.
Oh, how cute.
Yes, très cute.
Now, tell me, what do you know about the French language?
Well, all I know is that garçon means taxi, and I'm not even sure of that, no.
You study with me, and I will make you speak French.
Yeah? How much a lesson, mademoiselle?
Oh, I teach Parisian French. You speak through the nose for $5 a lesson.
Yeah? You're going to make me pay through the nose, too, aren't you?
But not only the French language will I teach you, but the history of France.
Ah.
I will tell you about Napoleon. Jeanne d'Arc.
Oh.
And Louis XIV.
Louis... What? What's that? She means Louis XIV. Why didn't she say so? She's going to teach me French, and she can't even speak English. Louis XIV, well, we got one of his tables here. Bought it from him, yeah. Hasn't got a straight leg on it, no. I think they got rheumatism, yeah. We got a picture with a Chevalier lip on it. All right. I want to know, how do you say, may I kiss you in French?
That is the subject of the 6th lesson.
Oh, it is, let's skip the first 5, huh?
Oh, Monsieur Charlot. No.
Oui. Oh, yeah.
Merci, Monsieur Charlot. You certainly learned French rapidly.
Bum. Here we are. There are fairies in the bottom of my swimming pool. Oh, hello, Miss Robeson.
Oh, how are you, Charlie?
Oh, I'm fine. I want to tell you how wonderful I think you are. That finesse of your performance, your savoir-faire, that trait tremendous. But definitely, too.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, young man. And I consider it a great compliment. You're a mighty fine little lad. And you have the makings of a great man.
Well, that's what I told Bergen, see? But he said I should study, see?
Ah, Mr. Bergen is right, my son.
Mother.
You must study and share the thoughts of great minds. Nothing is more profitable than spending an evening with a good book.
Yes, well, I don't know. You see, I have 2 ducats for the fight tonight. I suppose that's wrong, isn't it?
Why, of course it's wrong. Very wrong. Why don't you wait until Tuesday night and see a good scrap?
Oh. Yes. But you don't understand. Tonight, the Pomona Assassin headlines the evening event. He's a killer.
Oh, don't tell me about that tomato. He's a sucker for a left hook with that glass jaw.
Oh.
Why, that Palooka couldn't last 2 rounds shadow speed.
Oh, now, come. That's just where you're wrong, sister. That baby packs a lethal wallop in both of those meat hooks of his. Why, he'll go the distance and he'll win tonight.
Well, I've got a buck says he winds up with resin in his teeth before the 3rd scratch.
You're talking pin money, babe, pin money. But I'll call you. And if Pomona Assassin doesn't KO Tony McSnurd, steal his lamps, and trim his wicks, I'll pay off with the best spot in town tonight, the hottest spot in town.
You're on. All right, sonny boy. But wait a minute now. Name the spot.
Well, have you heard stuffed fish down at the broken door? That boy scratches a mean hunk of fiddle.
Oh, you call that hot?
Yeah.
Give me Blubbermouth Sambo. Now, there's a cat who's really mellow.
Yeah? Does he really give out with a la-di-da, la-di-da?
Oh, sure. That went out with the cakewalk.
What?
Blubber gives out the ho-dee-do and a ho-dee-do.
Oh.
Scat, get scat, now rat me.
I think you got something there, Mom. Can you truck, Grandma?
Truck? What's the matter with you? Do you think I'm getting old? Say, how about the Susie Q?
Woody! The studying's all for tonight.
Now, wait a minute, Charlie.
Huh?
Perhaps we shouldn't do this. I'm worried.
Oh, don't worry, Muzzy May. Don't worry. I'll see that you get home safe with me tonight, you know. La-di-da, la-di-da.
That's gonna razz me tight.
Well, there they go. Robeson and McCarthy, the swing kids. It'll be quite a while before the census man gets around again to count noses, so we won't wait for the census man. We'll take our own private non-census now, and there's only one nose to count because behind this redwood proboscis is our own W.C. Fields. Well, Bill, how you feeling?
Don, I feel highly irrelevant, incompetent, and immaterial.
Somebody may object to that.
Objection overruled. Discontinue. Yet I feel greatly relieved, Don.
Greatly relieved of what, Bill?
Relieved of 12 grand. Don, do you know this is Father's Day?
Yes.
You know my father was a doctor?
Is that so, Bill?
Yes, he treated a man for 3 years for yellow jaundice. Then found out he was a Chinaman.
Say, Mr. Fields, I read in the paper where you consume 2 quarts of liquor a day. What would your father think about that?
He'd think I was a sissy. Where I'll squeeze every drop of our wood alcohol out of your body.
Bill, you should be kind. Remember, this is Father's Day.
It was always Father's Day in our home, Don.
Oh, it was, huh?
It was never Mother's Day or Grandmother's Day.
Uh-huh.
It was always eat an apple a day.
Oh, yes, Bill, I see.
Father would never eat an apple, Don. He always preferred the juice of that succulent pippin. Isn't it peculiar, Don? Every time Father asked for an apple, he would always refer to everyone as Jack.
Well, what do you mean, Bill?
He'd always say, give me a little apple, Jack. Sweet joke, don't you think so, Don?
Yeah, sure. But, Bill, you were just saying this is Father's Day.
Oh, yes, I know. Everybody will be talking about Father today. The air will be just glutted up with eulogies of pater. There were many beautiful and touching tributes dedicated to Father by the poets and the tie manufacturers of this great and grand and glorious United States of ours.
All right, Bill.
These great United States,
Yes.
including the Samoan Islands, the Hawaiian Islands, the Philippine Islands,
Yes, Bill,
and
all
the
the...
great seaward purchase now known as Alaska.
All right, Bill, all right.
And the Eskimos. We mustn't leave out the Eskimos, Don.
No.
You know, Don, there isn't one shower bath in a million Eskimos' igloos.
Well, what's that got to do with Father's Day?
I don't know. It somehow reminds me of my father. Don, you remember this poem? Father, dear father, come home with me now. The clock in the steeple clangs 1. At that time in the morning, Father couldn't even get out of his chair, let alone go home.
Oh, Bill, Charlie has a poem about his father, too.
Yes, I know it. Little by little the acorn grew. Would have been much better if the squirrel had eaten the acorn instead of burying it.
Too steady.
Oh, my.
There once in the forest primeval, the murmuring pines and hemlock.
The wood alcohol has gone to that kid's head.
2 quarts a day.
Restrain him. Restrain yourself, my diminutive little chum. This is Father's Day, and love permeates my bosom. Charles, my father wrote a poem about your father. Woodman, woodman, spare that tree. Touch not a single bough. In early youth it sheltered me, and now it holds me up.
Oh, that's beautiful,
Bill. That was, Don.
Yes.
But despite all of my father's remonstrations and pleadings, that was the day they cut down Charlie's father. Yes, they clipped him and they mowed him down.
I have never seen my father, Mr. Fields.
Oh, that's terrible. Go out and look in my woodshed. Maybe there.
Mr. Fields, could I call you Dad? What do you say, Mr. Fields, huh?
Well, on second thought, Charles, you have paid me a great compliment, my little twig. I shall be your pudgy little dada.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Until the stroke of 1 or 12, rather.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes.
Oh, Pop.
Yes, my own little flesh and timber.
Say, Dad, can you lend me $5?
Here it comes.
Can I use your new necktie tonight? And, Dad, can I play with your loaded dice and your marked cards? You know.
I must deny you that, my dear son. I shall need those proclivities as I am attending the State, that's it. Ladies' Free Tatting and Whist Club.
But, Father, wouldn't that be dishonest?
Sir, you impugn my honor. Oh, where? I'll drive a nail in your chest.
Say, Charlie, I think you better go ahead with your poem.
Yeah, here it is. Too steady.
My father was a powerful man, Don.
Oh,
stop him. Take him away. My father was the president of a bank once, Don.
Your father was really the president of a bank, Bill?
Yes, he was. Here's another Eskimo.
Oh, wait, Bill. Wait, another Eskimo and your father?
Perhaps I should have said my father and another Eskimo.
All right, Bill, all right. Your father was president of the bank.
Well, he wasn't exactly the president, Don. He was a vice president, sort of a treasurer. He swept out the bank, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's different.
But he was a fine sweeper, Don. He was a clean sweeper, the best all-around-the-corner sweeper in the bank.
Bill. Yeah.
He and another fellow were cleaning out the bank one night. But the police officer, the union, somebody got after him for working overtime.
Too steady.
Oh, in the
Once
game.
in a forest primeval.
Filled with termites and boll weevil. That'd be good there, wouldn't it, Don? Can't understand why the author left that one out.
Oh, the murmuring pines and the hemlocks.
Father, dear father, come home with me now. I could see the little darling tugging at his shirt, at his sleeves.
Bill.
The clock in the steeple clangs too.
Yeah.
Clang, clang.
Clang,
Clang, clang. If I had a voice, I'd get in there.
Bill, the clock in the steeple strikes 2. Was your father still lost?
Oh, no, Don. Father was never lost. Mother always knew where to find him. She'd look out the kitchen window and see him lying out there on the grass. On the snow in the wintertime. And she'd say, children, your father has had a drink or two. We children could never tell. We'd think he was dead.
Yeah, but, Bill, you were telling me what a powerful man your father was.
Oh, yes. Father had a very little chest, but his stomach expansion was about 7.5 feet. And stomach muscles stuck out to here.
Yeah?
And had a head shaped like a Rocky Ford cantaloupe. I don't know what's the matter up here.
Was he?
Was he? Oh, yes. That doesn't fit, but it's okay. Anything will go.
Now it's my chance. Too steady.
Oh, he's coming
Once
again.
in a forest primeval.
Father, dear father, come home with me now.
Bill, please.
The clock in the steeple clangs 3. Yeah. Clang, clang, clang. What is the sound I hear?
The murmuring hemlock. Jingle, jingle, jingle. The clock is clocking.
Jingle, jingle. What a smart boy. Thinks they ring sleigh bells in church steeples.
Bill, the clock in the steeple strikes 3. What happens then?
That was a signal for Father to go home. 3 strikes and Father was out.
You mean he went home, Bill?
No, he went out just like a light.
He was quite a remarkable man, wasn't he, Bill?
Oh, yes, he was, Don. He was very dignified, too. I remember one day he was walking by a circus tent, minding his own business as usual, when a lady stuck her finger out through a hole in the dressing room tent, right into Papa's eye.
That was a cowardly thing for her to do, Bill.
Oh, yes, it was, Don. Yes, it was. Pardon my levity.
Did your father stop to say anything to her?
No, Don. He was always a gentleman. He kept right on going. And fell down 3 or 4 times. Naturally. He used to do that to make the children laugh. Finally, he staggered, he tripped, he walked through the swinging doors and right up to his room in the 16th floor of the Buster House.
The Buster House?
Yeah, the old Buster House, Don. It was later called the new Buster House and is now called the Buster House.
Oh, that's the place.
Yeah, all outside rooms, the sun streaming in day and night.
Oh, wait a minute, Bill. Who ever heard of the sun streaming in at night?
Midnight sun, Don?
Oh, yeah. Beg your pardon, Bill?
Yeah. As I was telling you, Father just been to the circus.
Yeah, go on, Bill.
We know who sooner removed his habiliments. That means clothing, Don.
Oh, yes, Bill, yes.
Socks, shoes, button gaiters, shirts, and could I say undervestments? Or undergarments?
No.
Anyway, he took them off.
And his hat?
Oh, no, he never took his hat off, Don. He usually slept in his hat, peculiar habit, a light, sort of a fawn gray fedora with a little feather in the side. Looked very chipper, Don. Usually wore smoked glasses. And was very fond of smoked herring.
Yes, Bill.
Very
go on.
fond of that.
Yeah, go on.
With mustard.
Yeah, Bill, go on.
English mustard.
Bill, will you please go on?
Funny how a man prefers strong mustard to mild mustard, Don.
All right, Bill, all right. Your father got his clothes off and got into bed.
With his hat on. Don't leave that out. Yes, he got that habit from Mother. She always slept with her shoes on. Case of fire.
Yeah, all right, Bill, all right.
No sooner took his clothes off and got into bed with his hat on, the little general walked into the room. As Father explained later, the general wasn't over a foot high, Don.
Yeah.
The little general looked at my father and he said, "Come on, boys, surround him." My father sneered. And then he leered.
Yeah. All right, continue, Bill.
He never sneered without leering.
Yeah. But, Bill, what happened?
Oh, yeah. Was his mind alert? What a hair-trigger brain.
Yeah, well, what did your father do when the little general said, surround him, boys?
Oh, yes. Father saw the little general and his corps of orderlies. They all had whiskers. They called them the Flying Muscovites.
What, you mean all these little generals only a foot high had whiskers, Bill?
Right, yes, that's right, Don. There they stood with muskets aimed surrounding my father, but Father was unafraid, unabashed, undressed, on everything.
Boy, your father was in a tough spot, Bill. Well, what did
Father
he do?
threw a sheet over his head, completely confusing the army, and before the little general could say fire, my father jumped right over their heads and out of the window. 16 stories. The old brain was still working.
Did your father jump right onto the sidewalk, Mr. Field?
Yeah, no. Can you beat that? When he got to the 5th floor, he happened to think that he'd forgotten his life insurance policy. So he jumped right back to the 16th floor again.
Did he find it, Mr.
Oh,
Field?
take him away, Edgar. He's full of sap. Father, dear father, come home with me now.
True, Daddy. Once
The
in a
clock
forest
in the
night
steeple
evil,
strikes far.
with an early
Clang, 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 what is this sound I hear? The ambulance is
Before this
coming.
father stuff goes any farther, thank you, Edgar Bergen
The
and Charlie
doctors,
McCarthy,
the
and
interns,
thank you
nurses,
very much,
highly
WC
relevant,
Speakers. Thank I'm saying au revoir now for our guests May Robeson and Grisha Golubov, and for our regular company W.C. Fields.
Before I go, I want to say one thing about Paramount.
Yeah, Bill, please, will you say uppermost?
Uppermost. Oh, yes, uppermost. Thank you, Don.
Yeah, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, that's good, Don. I'll have to tell them over at Paramount about that.
Bill, please. Now, Dorothy Lamour
The
and...
uppermost pictures. Paramount Pictures, uppermost pictures.
Bill. And Werner Jansen.
And as Mr. Adolf Zucker, chief executive of Uppermost Pictures, said to me the other day...
And for our guest next
he said,
week...
Bill, says you keep on drinking that Paramount coffee.
Bill,
I mean Chase Sanborn coffee. Says you're looking better every day since you started drinking Chase Sanborn coffee.
Yeah.
That's good. I got that in, didn't I?
Yeah, that's swell,
That's
Bill.
fine.
And for our guest
yes,
next
and he
week...
says you're looking better and will soon be able to make a new Paramount picture.
Bill, now please.
Over at Paramount, dealing with the growth of Chase and Sanborn coffee in South America.
Yeah,
See, you
for
didn't wait for that.
our guests, Ray Middleton and Sonia Henney.
Father, dear Father, come home with me now.
We'll all be greeting you, so until next Sunday at the same time, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir.
Sonia Henney.
This is Don Amici.
And this is Charlie McCarthy.
Yes, this is Don Amici greeting you for one of Hollywood's new stars.
Charlie McCarthy.
Please, Charlie. The world-famous skater, Miss Sonia Henney.
Yeah.
And for Ray Middleton...
He's a singer, too, eh?
Yes, Charlie, a singer whose baritone voice and dramatic talents make him one of the finest young singers in America.
This is Charlie McCarthy still. Charlie McCarthy.
Charlie McCarthy, all right, but never still.
Oh, you will have your clips now.
Greetings, too, from Dorothy Lamour.
Oh, to your Lamour.
W.C. Fields.
Boo, boo, boo.
Edgar Bergen.
Boo, boo, boo.
And Charlie McCarthy.
Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Charlie, you're a great help.
I'm prejudiced. That's what my mother always says. Don't you, Mr. Bergen?
Now, don't be silly, Charlie. I'm not your mother.
No. Well, you've been a mummy and a daddy to me. Yes. And frankly, neither one of you know how to bring up a child.
And America's foremost conductor, Werner Jansen.
You know, I'm an MC, Mr. Amici. Did you know?
Charlie, I didn't know you were an MC.
Sure, Charles M.C. Carthy.
A calm to steel us against the coming storm, represented by Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes. Oh, dear. I'm not so stormy today. I'm just sad, that's all.
Oh, now come, Charlie.
Oh, please.
What's the trouble?
Oh, don't coax me, Mr. Bergen.
What's the trouble?
I'm just sad, that's all. Just sad.
I see.
Suffer. No one will ever know how I suffer.
I don't suppose so.
I won't tell them. It's none of their business, no.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, please don't coax me.
Now, tell me, what's troubling you?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't insist on it, Mr. Bergen.
Well, now.
Please don't hold my hand, Mr. Bergen.
Well, why?
I don't know you very well.
Oh, yes.
You're hurting me.
Oh, now, come on now.
No.
What's wrong?
1,000 times nay.
All right. Well, certainly change that expression on your face.
What's the matter with my expression?
Well, that long, sad face, that scowl, and there is your mouth hanging open, isn't it?
Well, you ought to know. You open it.
All right. Now, I tell you, Charlie, suppose I tell a funny story.
Yes.
Don't you think that would help you so you could laugh it off?
No, I'm too sad, Mr. Bergen. I couldn't possibly laugh today.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I might go as far as a tee-hee-hee. Yes. But never a ho-ho-ho.
Oh, no.
It's out of the question. I'm too sad.
Well, you must be sad. Yeah. Well, then, Charlie, I'll sing a song.
Oh, come now. I'm sad as it is.
All right. Wouldn't you like to hear my favorite college song?
No, frankly, no.
Listen. Fill your glasses, boys, and drink it all. Drink it.
I wouldn't try it if I were you. I wouldn't even try it if I were me.
I ought to be able to hit that. We'll drink a toast, we'll drink a toast.
Is it a yodeling song?
No. I'm having a little trouble hitting the key. Don't explain. Yes, I need someone to start me.
You need someone to stop you. Oh.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll sing later on.
When I'm stronger.
Yes, all right.
Then you sing and I'll accompany you on the bicycle.
All right.
I wish I hadn't sold my clavichord. You should hear me play Pony Boy by Mozart. You know, boy? Maybe you'd like to... I also play Marbles by Cat's Eye and Aggie, a very snappy thing. See, why don't we ever sing a duet, Mr. Bergen?
Well, now, a duet, that's rather difficult to do.
It is?
Yes.
Well, I suppose it would be for you, yes. It's all you can do to hold your lips still when I'm talking.
All right. He's so sensitive about those things. That burns him up when I say that.
Charlie, is it necessary to say those things?
I'm sorry. All right. After all, don't be so sensitive. All right. These people, they know you're doing the talking.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you're just a mess of nerves, that's all. Yes. I wish my Uncle Anthony was here. Then we could have a quartet.
A quartet? You mean a trio?
Well, he's so two-faced, I think he'd be a quartet.
But you never told me, Charlie, that you had an Uncle Anthony.
Well, he really isn't my uncle. For that matter, his name isn't Anthony.
I see. Well, can he sing?
A little bit, yes. But he writes, too.
Oh.
Yes, he writes.
What does he write?
He writes other people's names on checks.
Oh.
Bad habit.
Yes. Has he a pen name?
He has now, yes. It's number 46389. But he's still musical. You can't down him. He was head of the glee club at Leavenworth. Then he was at Ossining. Now he's at Sing Sing. He sort of made a concert tour of America. Oh, but what a voice. And hot singing, too.
Is that so? Does he swing?
I'm afraid he will this time.
Don't give up hope, Mr. McCarthy. There is still time for justice to be done. Remember, Blot, Blab, Bragg, and Pecksniff are still on the job.
Who is this man, Charlie?
Oh, that's Uncle Anthony's lawyer.
Oh.
He's handling my case, too.
Your case?
Yes.
Well, what case is this?
I have a slander suit case against Fields. Oh, I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll mow him down.
Yeah.
Drop last pint, I'll get him.
Now, listen. Do you think you stand a chance? Do you think you can collect?
Well, Blat, Blab, Bragg, and Pecksniff never failed.
Oh, I see. And which one are you?
I am Blob. Here's my card.
Yeah, better read it.
I am the third one from the left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bragg, yes. Well, I'm very glad to meet you, Mr. Bragg. Just what is the course of procedure with this slander suit?
Defamation of character, alienation of affector,
yeah, man.
Slander.
Yeah. And don't forget to throw in a couple of tuits and vises and habeas corpuscles, too.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah.
For what amount do you wish me to sue Mr. Fields?
Well, I'd say, $12,000. He's used to that.
Yes. Why not start with $12 million? Then we'll have a chance to dicker.
You said something there. The man is dynamite. Just dynamite. It's sure thing. It's in the bag right now. We'll come down to $12,000. He'll still think he's lucky.
Have you any witnesses, Mr. McCarthy?
No, but I can get all I need.
Oh, no. That will not do.
No?
In all events, we must be ethical.
Yeah. Now, maybe I should get another lawyer, Bergen.
Fear not, Mr. McCarthy. Justice shall be done.
That's the spirit. We're going to get justice, and we don't care how crooked we have to be to get it.
Mr. Fields has caused a breach of etiquette, breach of faith, and a breach of friendship.
Yes.
We will try to collect. We may win a great deal, and then again we may land in jail.
Well, bust my breeches. Come on, counselor.
Doesn't sound to me as though Charlie has the best lawyer he can find. Personally, I can't help him on a barrister.
Oh, Mr. Amici.
Yes, Charlie.
What's the word with thee?
What wouldst, Sir Charles?
I wouldst the knockdown to yon knockout, milady Sonia.
Oh, but certainly. No sooner said than done, ya.
Oh, what fun, ya. Will you introduce Bergen, too? I'm big-hearted. I don't care.
Miss Henny, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
How do you do?
Yes, Miss Henny, it's a great pleasure to meet you. You know, I'm of Swedish descent. We're practically neighbors, you know. And the first time I saw you skate was in Norway.
Oh, how interesting. Have you been to Oslo, Mr. Bergen?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, I was in Oslo, Göteborg, Köpenhamn, Stockholm.
Nej, vad morsamt. Det är ett dejligt land, inte sant?
Ja, det är vackert.
Ja. I think so, too, yeah. Yes, it is. And while in Norway, I visited Svartisenfjord och Gudsvagnen. Ja, det är vackert. Ja. That must be vackert. Ja. Couple of aliens here.
You must come home and meet my mother and have some smörgåsbord.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, sure, I think I go, too. Yeah, that... Awful clicky, these Vikings. Awful clicky. I'll get in on this. Watch me. Miss Henny, my name is Charlie Swanson. That ought to help. Oh, Miss Henny, this is Charlie. Charlie's a great admirer of yours. Yes, ever since I saw your picture, 1 in 1,000, I think it was.
Oh, no, you mean the picture 1 in a million.
Yeah, well, I saw it as a double feature, and they had to cut it down. Oh, Miss Henny, I love ice, especially thin ice. I'd give anything if I could skate like you.
Can you not skate at all, Mr. Charlie?
Well, yes, no. But you see, my ankles are so weak. I'm practically skating on double runners. I don't have to have my skate sharpened. I just sharpen my ankles.
I would be very glad to help you.
Now we're getting someplace. Scrambergen. Oh. Miss Henny, do you fall down very often?
I did, but I was learning.
Yeah. Did you always land Sonia side up?
Well, Sonia time. But there isn't much time to decide how you want to fall.
Yeah, that's true. I always decide, but no matter what I decide, I always fall on the same spot.
So, Charlie, suppose you skate away and rest on your laurels. Well, how you feeling, Bill?
Props there. I'm feeling full of camaraderie. Esprit de corps, enjoy the vivre, Don. That means I don't feel too well. Yet I feel very happy because I've just written my first column for the newspaper.
Oh, so you're a columnist now.
Yeah.
What do you call your column, Bill?
Fields finds fun with film folks in Hollywood. Or musings whilst receiving a parking ticket at the crossroads of Hollywood and Vine.
Oh, is that just the title, Bill, or the whole article?
Oh, it's the whole... What do you mean? It's the title. Don't be facetious, Don.
I
please.
apologize, Bill.
Fish, 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 in all the sloops of sea in the great Mississippi River.
Bill.
Harris tributary, the Hudson River, fishing boats.
Bill, please, wait.
Sailboats, rowboats, the people bathing in the ocean, fish, fish.
What is that fish? You don't by any chance mean flash, do you?
Oh, no, somebody else is using that, Don. Fish, flash, fluid.
Fish, flash, fluid.
This is turkey dressing.
What do you mean, turkey dressing?
Inside stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, please.
All right, Bill. Fish.
You hooked me that time. Bing Crosby will either stay in California all summer or part of the summer if he decides not to go away.
All right, Bill, thanks.
For a trip.
Yeah, sure.
Or somewhere.
Yeah, of course, Bill.
Or something.
Yeah, no question about it.
Sometime. He gave the following to the scribe as an exclusive.
Exclusive.
I don't know what to do, he said. I haven't really decided. I may go or may not.
Oh, that's great news, Bill.
I asked Bing's permission to use this or tell it over the radio. He gave it to me grudgingly as an exclusive.
An exclusive?
Yeah. He said you must tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
Good luck, Bing, I said, if you go.
Oh, that's very good, Bill.
Flask. Yes, flask. Don't forget your flask. Heard the Siamese twins are suing for separation. One has signed a contract with Paramount.
Wait a minute, Bill. Wait a minute.
The other signed a contract with Universal.
Bill, look, don't say Paramount.
All right, Don. They just signed with University.
Okay.
Maybe Paramount will be glad to get rid of them.
Bill, please.
Flash Blue, fresh fish. So Ben Burney and Walter Winchell having their shoe shine on the Paramount lot.
Wait a minute, Bill. What?
All right, make it Universal. Or parking lot or Chase Sanborn's lot. I don't care. Anybody's lot. They were smoking cigars. Except Winchell, who is very fond of Swiss chard.
Is that all, Bill?
No. Flash, fish, please. So Sonia honey, skating girl. She's trucking at the truck. Paramount truck.
Yeah, Bill.
She's trucking, yeah. She was in the arms of a very handsome young man. More power to you, Tyrone.
Oh, that's very clever, Bill.
Yeah, rather subtle, isn't it, Don?
Wait a minute, Bill. Wait. Here's Sonia right now.
Oh.
Sonia, you know Bill Fields, don't you?
No, but I would be crazy to meet him.
Oh, I don't know how to take that. Hi, honey.
The name is Henny.
Oh, that is her. Honey's a term of endearment there.
The name is still Henny.
Oh, you're going to stick to that, eh? You come from Europe, don't you, honey?
I come from Tuckadown.
Oh, you do, eh? You got me stuck there. Well, it's in Europe, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. Right next to Kristiansand.
Oh, it is, eh? Why don't you come right out flat-footed and say where you came from? Came from Europe, didn't you? I hear you're a swell skate. A good skate. What's your racket, honey?
I understand you are connoisseur on skates, too.
A connoisseur on skates, I don't know how to take that one either. Dismiss it. Irrelevant, immaterial, and incompetent. Connoisseur business isn't like that.
Can you cut a figure 8 on one of your skates, Mr. Fields?
Ah, that's another one, huh? All right. I can do better than that, honey. Wait, and it's you. I used to cut a figure 11.
Figure 11?
Yeah, just stand on your skates and have someone give you a good push. Awfully difficult. I did it once without falling down. I'm writing a column.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I thought you didn't like the line. Okay. Do you know anything?
I know plenty, but I'll tell you nothing.
Oh, you won't, huh? Thanks for the tip, dear.
Well, I guess I'll go now.
Oh, you guessed right. Not bad. Not only a good skater, but a mind reader. Before you go, honey, Huey, I'd like you to autograph an ice cube for me.
You said it, honey.
You're a little dandy. Excuse me for being so curt there, but I gotta make the deadline. Flash, splish, floosh. So Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy cooked at Grove. Bergen was sitting on Charlie's lap. And McCarthy, what's his name? McCarthy, yeah. Was doing the talking for both of them. Silly thing.
Very unusual, Bill.
The audience heads were bobbing up and down. Never saw so many bald heads in my life. No wonder they call it the coconut grove. I'll explain it later. I didn't think it was any good in the first place.
Wait a minute. Quiet, Bill. Here's Edgar and Charlie now.
Oh, yeah, I can see. They got the lawyer with them. They're going to try to frame me for slander. Watch me double-cross the both of them. Good evening, Edgar.
Good evening, Mr. Field.
Greetings, Charles, my diminutive little chum.
Hello, Mr. Field.
Oh, it's going to be a pleasant greeting. And greetings to you, Counselor. Pardon me for complimenting you on your beautiful blonde beard. Didn't you used to play the tuba in the house of David Band? How's everything up at Benton Harbor?
Very fine, thank you, very fine. But let us get on with the case, Mr. Fields. I have come here to represent my client, one Charles McCarthy, to institute proceedings against you for $12 million.
$12 million, a handsome sum. No jockey was ever ruled off for trying. Go ahead.
Unless you are willing to settle for a round sum.
A round sum, yes. I'll settle for a round sum.
Excellent.
Always round, meaning nothing.
Now, don't be too hasty, Mr. Fields. We are prepared to press the following charges. Defamation of character, alienation of affection, loss of services, threatened intent to assault, battery, mayhem, and murder, et al.
Et al. Who? What al? Who?
Mr. Fields, did you or did you not, on the 9th of May last, refer to my plaintiff, one Charles McCarthy, as a piece of sassafras root?
That's what he called me, all right. That's what he called me.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. We got him there. We got him. He said it. He admitted.
But sassafras fruit is very dear to my heart, barrister. I was weaned on sassafras root. I also gnawed on sassafras root instead of a pacifier.
Oh, how that man can lie. Don't believe him, Counselor. Go right ahead.
Mr. Fields, did you or did you not on the same day accuse my client of being full of termites?
Full of termites, yes. I remember. I answer in the affirmative.
See, he said that.
But there were extenuating circumstances.
Oh, sure.
Charles squirmed off of Mr. Bergen's knee 3 times that evening. It was not a threat. I only wished to warn the little nipper. I thought he probably had ends.
Thank you, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and thank you very much, W.C. Fields.
Tell me, pretty maiden.
Tuning up for your big musical moment, Charlie?
Yes, and Mr. Nietzsche, my big moment is musical, and she's beautiful, too. Oh, Miss Lamore, have you a date for this evening?
Yes, Charlie, I have.
Oh, you know I like you, Dorothy. You're so different from the other girls. You talk to me.
Well, I'm afraid the others don't know you as I do, Charlie.
Oh, how true. How would you like to come up to my house? I'll show you my magic lantern. I have slides of early New York in the Bowery.
Picture slides of the gay 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those were the days. Not so much worry and hurry and hustle.
No, but plenty of bustle and muscle.
Oh, yussle.
Yes, sir, yes. Those were the days, my childhood days.
You must have been a beautiful child, Charlie.
Well, I was, yes. Why should I lie to you? My head was covered with curls and my face was covered with mud. I didn't care. Ishkabibble, I used to say.
You have a wonderful memory, Charlie. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was. Yes, I remember when I played N-Man on the Gas House croquet team. That was a wicked game back in 1800 and...
As far back as that, Charlie?
Yes, maybe more. Yes, I remember we used to stop the croquet game to go and kill Indians on 42nd Street. They used to hide in the subway, the little rascals. I didn't know the meaning of the word fear then. I'd stick my head around the corner and I'd say, 23 skidoo, and then I'd run. Hold on to my scalp.
Yes, Charlie, I remember it used to frighten me terribly, too.
Yes, you remember? When was that?
Well, back in 1800 and
Oh, it was. What were you doing in New York in 1800 and
Well, I was singing songs with those slides while you were killing Indians. Oh, those gay 90s.
You said it. I love my wife, but oh, you kid.
Those were the days.
Those are the days, and you can have them, too.
Saying au revoir now for our guests, Sonia Henney and Ray Middleton, and for our regular company, W.C. Fields. And,
I forgot for the, what is it? Fish, flash, fluke, black here. I guess
what is it, Bill?
I don't know. I forgot for the nonce. I don't know. It's an exclusive, though. I know that. Fish, flash, fluke,
Fish, flash, fluke, flash. Well, I hope you remember it next Sunday, for then you'll be able to tell it to all of us, including Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, and our special guests, Zazu Pitts and Hoagie Carmichael. We'll all be greeting you next week. So until next Sunday at the same time, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir. Zazu Pitts. And this is Don Amici saying hello.
And Charlie McCarthy saying cheerio.
Oh, kind of English tonight, eh, Charlie?
Yeah, but definitely.
I'm saying hello to everybody for Miss Zazu Pitts, whose delightful humor has made her one of our best-loved comedians.
Yeah, every morning she's in my grapefruit.
Yeah, who's in your grapefruit?
Pitts.
Oh, Charlie. And for Hoagie Carmichael, who has a way of writing beautiful songs we never forget.
Aren't you going to say anything about Chase Sanborn?
Yes, Charlie. A good coffee.
Well, it may be only good coffee to you, but Amici, it's bread and butter to Bergen and me.
Yeah, to all of us, Charlie, including W.C. Fields.
Oh, boo.
Edgar Bergen.
A mile hiss.
And Charlie McCarthy.
Hear ye, hear ye.
And Dorothy Lamour.
The more I see her, the more I like her.
Oh, the Bergens are coming around the bend.
Oh, Professor Armbruster, I want to thank you. I think it was very nice of you to be willing to sacrifice part of your valuable time to help Charlie with his music.
Yeah.
I'm confident that Charlie has hidden talent.
Oh, the stuff's there. It's mellow, but it's hiding.
Sure, Herr Bergen.
Get a load of that one.
I shall be happy to help you, my little dumpling.
What have we got here? Take the gum out of your mouth, Professor.
I remember as a little fellow, student days in Vienna. I studied there in Vienna.
Oh, you killed me, Armbruster. You killed me.
12 years in all I have studied, when still I feel that I know very little about music.
Yeah, well, that's the way you impressed me, too.
I studied in Paris and in Moscow and graduated with honors from the Vienna Card-Stealing Conservatory.
Oh, did you play contract or auction?
Yeah, and pinochle, and also the violin.
Uh-huh.
And yet I perspired to greater heights. At 21, I studied for 5 more years yet on the violin.
You know, you fiddled away the 5 best years of your life. You know that.
Yeah. How true and all that stuffing. Yeah. Now tell me, Charlie, are you acquainted with Mozart and Beethoven?
Well, I tell you. Yes and no. That is, I know them by sight, see? You see, I studied music for 2 years.
Same piece, too. Still can't play it.
Well, no wonder you can't play it. You have no heart. You have no soul.
I haven't even got a piano.
But I thought you had a piano, Charlie.
Well, I did have one when things were going a little better.
Oh, I see.
And I was coming along fine, too, Mr. Bergen. I'd finished Mozart, and I'd started on Wagner when the piano went Bach.
Oh, I see. Well, that was unfortunate.
Yes, well, I don't care. They gave me a bad buy.
Yes.
Of course, I gave them a bad check, too.
Now, Charlie, as a student of music, can you explain what is important about the year 1756?
1756. Yes, of course. Yes, now don't tell me. That's spoiled, see. I know it as well as I know my own name. Can't even think of that now.
Mozart was born.
I just guessed it. Mozart was born in 1756.
Ah, very good. Now, what happened in 1762?
1762? Mozart was 6 years old.
At 6 years, he gave his first recital. And while still a boy, he wrote 3 great operas.
Yeah.
Can you name them in their order?
Yeah, sure. First, second, and third.
Charlie, you're not taking this seriously.
No.
No.
I think the boy maybe would like music what is more Americanischer. How would you like to play the Stars and Stripes forever?
I think it would become very monotonous. I say a verse and 2 choruses is enough of any song. You know, the more I talk to you, Professor, the less I care about music. You know that?
Yes. You will regret this later on, Charlie.
How true, my Wiener Schnitzel. It is a part of life. Every human being wants first food, then clothing, and then music. What do you want, Charlie?
I'll take a corn fritter. Maybe I'm prejudiced.
I'm afraid so.
You see, I had so much of it at school. You know Professor Rumduster? I played a duet with Skinny Dugan at the House of Correction.
Was it a recital?
No, it was a reform school.
Yes. That means that you play in front of an audience. You understand? A piano recital, an organ recital?
Yes. There was a piano recital.
Yes. And what did you play?
I just told you I played piano, you
Hot and pepper is so chemical, Nick.
Yeah.
Professor Armbruster wants to know just exactly what you played on the piano.
Oh, so that's it. Well, our recital consisted of Wagner, Mozart, and mistakes. It was a duet, and what a duet that was, too.
Yeah.
We were neck and neck for the first 2 pages, with Skinny Dugan the favorite.
You don't tell me.
We were going along at a nice clip when we passed a sign that said accelerando, see?
Yes.
So we both gave her the gun, see?
Yes.
Well, believe it or not, we went so fast, we went right through the darn finish.
Is that so?
Yes. Skinny fell off the bench, and the end gate fell off the piano. I just stood there and laughed. Oh, my. Trouble. Life is earnest, but oh, so sad.
Why, what's the matter, Charlie? You sound as if you'd lost your best friend.
Oh, it's not me I'm thinking about now. This time it's a change. I'm thinking about Miss Pitt. Oh, poor little Miss Hopper, my son. Wasn't that sad? She couldn't even get the man who wore the 14.5 shirt. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, Charlie, I think you're wonderful.
Hey, wait a minute. What is this?
A love.
Oh.
Life for me is nothing but unrequited love.
What again? Oh, poor sister. Say, but I know a man who's just crazy about you.
Oh, dear me. Is he alive?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I wonder, have you met Mr. Bergen? Well, there is a very lonesome man.
I can understand that.
Yeah. I happen to know that he likes you. You could make him very happy, but he's so timid, you know. You'll have to be very forward.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I'm too backward to be forward.
Yeah. Huh? As a matter of fact, Miss Pitts, he really is in love with you. He's nuts about you. Go ahead now. Fess up, Bergen.
Now, what do you mean?
In love, too timid. What is this?
I knew it wouldn't work. I never have any luck.
Oh, Mr. Bergen, are you going to stand there and deny that you weren't reading love lyrics last night? Well, I was, yes.
Oh, how I enjoy poetry. I have written poetry.
Uh-oh.
Some of it even rhymes.
Yeah?
It's called To a Lover and His Sweetheart.
That ought to be good, yeah.
Oh, you two are both so one-ish, like a double, yet a single. There is duo, still it's one-o, like a vision in a dream.
Think you got something there. Yes. Well, just what in heaven's name is that?
It isn't much good. It's free verse.
Free, you wouldn't be able to give it away. Tell her about the one you wrote, Mr. Bergen. It's just about as good. No, really. Oh, come on. No, it was just a silly... Oh, come on now. Come. No, I'd rather not. Oh, come now. Come. You wanted the coat? All right, then. It was just a simple little thing. Oh, that's clear to see. Your hair is like the clouds in a storm-tossed sky. See, that's nice. The blue of the Pacific is in your eye. That's the left one, the good one. Yeah.
Oh, isn't that sentimental?
Yes. You can have your kingdom, your dukes and earls, but give me your teeth. They're just like pearls. Boy, that's really dynamite there. Take him out and show him. Go ahead. All right. Huh? There's more. It gets worse as it goes on. Your lips are like petals of a hothouse bicycle. All right. Well, that gives you a fair idea how Bergen writes. Now, don't you think Zazu would make someone a very sweet wife? Oh, I certainly do. See? See? Well, then what are you waiting for? There you are. Now let me set the wedding date. Wait a minute here.
Oh, my, this is so sudden.
What's the matter? What kind of a man do you want?
Well, I think he should be rather, sort of, kind of, in a way.
Well, that's Bergen. You can't describe him. That's Bergen. Have you ever known real love, Zazu? Real love?
Well, in a way,
Now, don't beat around the bush. Come clean now. Don't you believe marriage is a wonderful thing?
Oh, indeed I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think love is just lovely and so romantic.
Isn't that ducky? Yes, and she bakes a mean hunk of donut, Bergen, too. Yeah. How about it, Zazu?
It's not that I couldn't be very happy with Mr. Bergen, but...
Well, then, what more do you want?
Oh, well, I don't think my husband would like it.
Yeah, wow. Oh, by the way, how is he, Zazu? Yeah, how? Hey, wait a minute. As Dan Cupid, I'm stupid. Truly on this requited love.
Like a threatening storm that never breaks, like a bolt of lightning that never strikes, like a clap of thunder that grumbles and mumbles and rumbles, and boom, look at the rainbow, W.C. Fields. Well, how you feeling, Don? How you feeling, Bill?
I'm feeling all right, Bill. Which one am I?
I don't know. I guess you're you.
I don't feel so well, Don. On my way over here, a little nipper tried to set me on fire.
Is that so, Bill?
Yeah, he struck a match and tried to burn my nose. Mistook it for a firecracker.
Oh, well, that's an awful way to celebrate the 4th, Bill.
Yeah, it's even a terrible way to celebrate the 1st. My brother was shot on the 1st, Don.
Oh, he was, Bill?
Yeah, trying to open his own safe.
Well, how was that?
He thought it was his own safe. He walks in his sleep, He went over to the bank and started monkeying around. The constable on the beat shot him. They immediately rushed my brother to the morgue.
Do you mean the hospital, Bill?
You want me to tell this story, John?
Oh, sure, Bill. All right. You mean the morgue.
Oh, now you're going to tell me what I mean.
Please, Bill. Will you please go on?
Then please be quiet, Tom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Your brother walks in his sleep and he was shot by a policeman.
Oh, you know the story then.
No, Bill. I don't know the story then, and I don't know it now. Now, please, will you go
listen?
on, Bill? All right, sure, Bill.
All right. My father was summoned immediately to the cemetery.
Oh, are we in the cemetery now?
No, the morgue.
Well, Bill, please, let's keep this thing straight. Your brother and your father were...
Why do you take such a keen interest in my family affairs, Don?
Well, I mean nothing personal, Bill. I'm just interested in your story, that's all.
Oh, so you're not interested in my family at all? Just want me to tell about them. Then you go and gab it all over the country. Is that the idea?
Oh, now, please, Bill, I'm exhausted.
Would you like a little drink? I have a couple of bottles of scotch here. Always carry 2 quarts with me for medicinal purposes, Don.
Of course, Bill.
Yeah, I don't want to make the judge and the doctor look bad.
Yeah, but look, now, Bill, where were we?
I don't know. I forgot. There's absolutely too much argument going on here. Fish, flash, fluke, flounder. I'm continuing my column, Don. I nearly forgot all about it.
Yeah, flounder, fluke, flash, flash. We're off again, boys.
Flash, flash. Fluke, flash.
Flash. Wait a minute, Bill. Here's Charlie.
Oh, that little rat's in again.
Hello, sweetheart.
Go away, you lowest form of plant life.
I just came here to bring you a great admirer of yours, Miss Azul Pitts. She's
Go
got
away,
a crush on you.
Go away, you attract ants.
Well, I'd rather have my aunts than your uncles.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you, Mr. Fields. This is a reunion for me.
Now, quiet, please. I'm talking about my column.
Oh, Mr. Fields, how do you get your wonderful news?
I ride horseback through Hollywood, side saddle.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I like to weave in and out amongst the automobiles and frighten the chauffeurs the way they used to frighten the horses in the early days.
Oh, say, that's a great idea, Bill.
Yeah, fish, flam, fluke, flash, fish. Went to Paramount today.
Went where, Bill?
Paramount.
Bill, please.
All right, make it universal. You got me so mixed up now, I don't know whether I'm drinking Paramount coffee or making Chase Sanborn dated pictures.
All right, Bill, all right. Go on.
Went down to Paramount and asked the various stars and executives and pickets as they entered. If they knew anyone who was going to have a baby. They didn't seem to know, or they would have at least answered me. Shirley Slide.
Wait a minute, Bill. You know Miss Pitts, don't you?
Oh, yes. Hello, Zuzu.
It's Zazu.
All right, I'm writing a column. Do you know anybody's going to have a baby?
No, but I have a little son who's crazy about you.
Oh, that's fine. Dismiss it. Crazy about me. Fish, flash, fluke, an open litter, the puce de puce. The great French French actress. You're getting me all mixed up now, Zuzu. Please keep quiet.
It's Zazu. Isn't he a comical man?
Cease there. Move over, Zulu. You're crowding. You're putting a hand... Go ahead. Move over. Go away, Zulu. An open letter to puce de puce. You were walking on Hollywood Boulevard last week when 2 honest working men carrying their kettles greeted you as you passed. Teeth again. Howdy, Toots, they shouted.
Oh, how shocking.
Just a minute, Don. Bear with me. An open letter to Madame de Puce. You arched your eyebrows, pointed your retouché nose to heaven, and walked even faster, drawing your silken French frock tighter about your slightly plump figure.
Oh, I just love French frocks. When I was in Paris...
Oh, will you keep quiet, Zulu?
It's Zazu.
Why don't you go and sit over there and be comfortable? Take a fan. Madame de Puce, one of these gentlemen were street cleaners, as you claim. They may not have the suave manner of your French Parisian boulevardier who shouts ooh la la at the slightest provocation.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
I'm sorry I started it.
Oh, how romantic. How I wish I was back in Paris now.
So do I.
Why, Mr. Fields, do you really mean that you wish I was in Paris?
Anywhere in Europe will do. Fish, flash, fluke, fleek,
fleek, flag, fish.
Fish means soul fit. Still have soul.
Don't interrupt me again, please, Zulu.
It's they
What?
do.
Oh, I know it. What if these American gentlemen do sweep streets? Their honest hearts are made of gold.
How true. And the way they charge over there is something terrible.
Don, why don't you take her away? Will you please be quiet, Zulu? Madame de Puce, why don't you invite them to your suite in the hotel? Ask them to have some of your French petit de foie gras with moutarde.
That's goose liver with mustard.
Oh, will you please keep quiet? Give them some frog's legs.
Do you like frog's legs, Mr. Fields?
I never saw one with a good pair in my life. Go over there. Go over there, Zulu, and lie down the bass drum until they start playing something.
Oh, thank you.
Madame de Puce, give them some cheval rôti.
And what's that?
Roast horse. They will be only too willing. Will you stop asking me questions, Zulu?
Nobody knows what I'm talking about now with all these interruptions. This was a swell column when I thought of it this morning. What was I talking about, Don?
Depusé.
Oh, thank you, Don. Depusé.
Oh, excuse me. Wouldn't it be funny if she had a daughter named Kitty the Kitty?
Be much funnier if I took the tube and crowned you with it. Go ahead and scratch yourself. They will be only too willing to listen to reason. Go easy, Depusé, and until at least they have seen the test. And I don't mean you, or who, or what have you. Now, have you anything to say, Zulu?
Well, who do you mean, Bill?
Oh, fish, flash, flute, flounder, fish, flash.
Oh, Mr.
I'm too tired.
Do you know what my boy always says about you?
It doesn't matter, Zulu.
The name is Zazu.
All right, Zazu, but don't be so aggressive.
My boy is always talking about you, Mr. Fields.
Still doesn't matter, dear.
I told him the other day, if you're so crazy about Mr. Fields, why don't you go and live with him?
Oh, you did you? What is she getting up to now?
What do you think he said, Mr. Fields?
I haven't the slightest idea, and I don't care.
Well, my son said, not without you, Mother. He always wants to go someplace.
I can tell you both where to go.
Oh, dear, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just have to go through life the victim of unrequited love.
Well, don't count on me for any help.
Even in the picture 52nd Street, which I played in for Walter Wanger, made over at United Artists...
Paramount!
Hey, wait a minute. Let me get in on this, fellas, will you? 20th Century Fox.
I sing a little song in 52nd Street.
I wouldn't care if you sang it in 14th Street.
But, Mr. Fields... Well, I'm going to sing it for you now.
Don't do me any favors.
Oh, we'd love to hear it, Miss Pitts, wouldn't we, Bill?
Speak for yourself. This is interfering with my Fields Finds Fun with famous film folks in Hollywood.
Yeah, well, we'll take that later. All right, Miss Pitts.
It's called 23 Skidoo.
I still
This is
don't
the way
want
it
to hear
goes. I had his picture in my locket.
Whose picture? What's
A
he talking
photograph
about?
that he had sent. His loving letters in my pocket. How I adored this handsome gent.
Is she singing or sobbing?
And there was I to meet him where the swans are on the lake.
I've got a great swan story to tell you, Don, when she gets through with this crash.
Yeah, Bill. Now, go on, Miss Pitts. He'd know me by...
He'd know me.
Yeah.
He'd know me by a parasol of lace.
Parasol of lace. That's funny. They're out of style. They went out with the lace pantaloons.
When suddenly a cabbie stopped.
She means chauffeur.
Oh, dear, I'm afraid the song will be spoiled.
If you don't want to spoil it, what are you singing it for?
My heart began to quake, and there we stood at last, face to face.
Imagine him looking into her face and her looking into his face. I'll bet it was a standoff. This is terrible.
All he said was 23 Skidoo.
My kingdom for a giant Roman candle right now.
Said that to me. There was I expecting I love you. That he said 23 Skidoo.
Say, that's cute, Bill, isn't it?
Don't consult me. I might be prejudiced.
Underneath my ostrich feather hat.
Rather unfortunate you weren't underneath the ostrich.
Underneath...
This is impossible to follow, Mr. Amici.
Why? What's the trouble, Bob?
Either Mr. Fields stopped spouting, or Mr. Pitt stopped screeching, or I stopped playing.
Oh, if it stopped playing, she might quit, too. Who is that Eskimo?
Why, Bill, that's our maestro at the piano, Bob Armbruster.
Oh, yes. Hi, Bob. I remember when he used to play an organ.
Yeah, you said it.
Whatever became of the monkey?
Well, if you want to come back, just say the word.
I left an opening for that one. I'm glad they didn't hear it.
All right now, Miss Pitt.
My beaver muff.
Beaver muff reminds me of my poor old grandmother. She used to be the bearded lady in the circus, Don, a rustler. They called her Grandma Dean.
I had saved for weeks to buy them new. But he said 23 Skidoo.
23
I said
Skidoo.
Skidoo.
He wanted you to strive to take it on the
I
lamb,
said
same as I
Skidoo.
do. Will you please go away?
I said
Fish, flash, fluid,
Fish, flash, 23 Skidoo. Thank you, Miss Zazu Pitts, and thank you very much, W.C. Fields. Well, there always must be an au revoir, and I'm saying it now for our guests, Zazu Pitts and Hoagie Carmichael, and for our regular company, W.C. Fields.
Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, and Robert Armbruster. Next Sunday, we shall have as our special guests Gladys George and Ray Middleton. We'll all be looking forward to meeting you again, so until next Sunday at the same time, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir. And this is Don Amici greeting you.
You mean me, Amici?
Yes, Charlie, greeting you and everybody for the sensational dramatic actress, Miss Gladys George.
Oh, I'm certainly glad as glad can be. She's here.
Yes, we're all glad Gladys is here. And that goes for one of the country's outstanding young baritones, Ray Middleton.
Figaro, 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 and all points well.
Greetings, too, from W.C. Fields.
Never heard of him.
Dorothy Lamour.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Edgar Bergen.
I was slipping again.
And Charlie McCarthy.
The top, but definitely top.
The thing I like about you, Charlie, is that you're so self-effacing.
Oh, of course.
So write about efface and pay careful attention as Robert Armbruster conducts the Chase Sanborn Orchestra in Johnny One Note. Well, Edgar, after hearing Robert Armbruster and his orchestra entertain us so royally, I'll bet you Charlie is sorry he didn't listen more carefully last week.
Yes, and Charlie, and don't you regret letting them take back your piano?
Well, yes and no, Mr. Bergen, yes and no. Now, that piano was far from good, and I didn't help it any either.
No.
I tell you, it sounded like a rebuilt typewriter.
It did.
Yes. I think it was an old 8-cylinder harpsichord with a new paint job.
Is that so?
Yes, it was no good. I couldn't get more than 2 sonatas on it to the gallon.
Is that
That's all.
Well, just how far did you go with your music lessons, Charlie?
Well, my teacher gave me a piece called All My Life. And it took me nearly that long to learn it. Well, I tell you, it was so long. It was, it must have been, a lot of pages.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Well, it took so long to play it. When I finished, my clothes were out of style.
And I suppose that was the extent of your musical education.
Well, no, not completely.
No.
Oh, no. You see, I played in church on a one-stringed instrument.
You did?
Yes.
One-stringed instrument?
Yes. One-stringed instrument. Do you give up?
Yes.
I rang the bell.
Oh. Well, that doesn't take much knowledge about music, does it?
No, but I know music.
You do?
Oh, I played in the school band.
You did?
Yes. We were all picked men.
But you know so little about music. How could they all have been picked men?
Well, maybe they picked me a little before I was ripe.
I think. Now, just what did you do in the band?
Well, I was in it. If you must know, I carried the front end of the bass drum. I got the job when the drummer dropped dead in his tracks.
I see.
He snared at me once too often. Isn't that awful?
Yes.
I just don't care.
No, I know.
Oh.
Well, I imagine it is fun playing on a school band.
Oh, it is, Mr. Bergen. You just don't know if you don't know.
I know.
And we had a bandwagon, too. I was head man there. I drove the horse. I remember the first time I hitched the horse up wrong. He got all turned around.
That didn't help any.
No. When I said get up, the horse backed up forward.
He did?
Yes. I think I had his suspenders on wrong.
His what?
His garters. I don't know what you call them.
Well, it isn't important.
I don't think so either, no. Well, anyway, I shall never forget driving down Main Street on the bandwagon. All the boys playing extra loud on Saturday night.
Yes.
Oh, what a night.
Yes. That must have been a sight.
Oh, it was.
All of you boys going down the street on that wagon.
Yeah.
What a sight.
Yes, it was. Until the wheel came off the wagon.
Oh, that must have been a disappointment.
Yes, it was. Well, of course, being Saturday night, we had planned on falling off the wagon, but not so soon.
Well, I hope you didn't hurt yourself.
No, you see, I was riding on the horse.
Oh, I see.
And what a horse. I didn't know a thing so full of hay could be so hard.
I don't suppose there was a band concert that evening, was there, after all that trouble? Oh, there was. Of course there was. And the highlight of the evening was when I played Deep River on my balalaika. And if I say so myself, it was the highlight. Nobody else will say so. In the middle of the number, a squall blew up, and I was carried out to sea. I drifted for 3 days on an empty balalaika with nothing to drink but bilge water. All right. That must have made a hit. No, it didn't. It didn't, no. Well, I tell you, we did take up a collection. Oh, you did? Yes, we did, yes. Yes, we took up a collection to buy a wooden leg for our new band leader. You see, we got $2.80. It wasn't much, but we only wanted tin money. Tin money. What's that? I don't think that was funny. You don't think so? No. You don't think it was funny? No. Of all the people in the world, you should have the nerve to stand there and tell me what I said wasn't funny. That's fine. That's nice. That's really nerve. When I pull a bad joke, you sort of move away. You pretend you don't know me very well. Well, I don't know you after that joke. No. Of course, when they come around to take pictures of me, then you come close enough. You'd think we were on a honeymoon. All right. Sanborn in the first. Sanborn in the first. Sanborn in the first.
Hey, Charlie, just a minute. What is this Sanborn in the first?
I got a hot tip, a red hot tip. Sanborn in the first. Sanborn in the first.
Well, what is it, Charlie?
It's a race. It's a sure bet. Take my word for it, Mr. Alici. All the horses will be chasing Sanborn down the straight.
Are you sure chasing Sanborn will win, Charlie?
It's in the bag. You got it? You get it?
I get it, but where'd you get it?
Oh, it's just a little thing I invented.
You invented? Oh, you're an inventor, huh?
Definitely.
Say, I know somebody who's very much interested in inventors. Oh, here she is, Miss George. Do you know Charlie McCarthy, the peerless inventor?
Oh, I love peerless people. I hate cowards. I hope you're really an inventor, not an imposter.
Oh, no, you can be sure. I'm practically sitting in the car right now, you know.
Oh, that's too magnanimous. What is your latest invention, Charlie?
Well, I'll tell you. You see, well, let's see, what day is it today? Well, back in 1918, and then came the war, and then 1924, what did we invent, Bergen? Now, Charlie, you know I haven't invented anything. Oh, yes, you have. Don't you believe him, Miss George? He's fibbing.
I love truthful people. I hate procrastinators.
Oh, so do I. Can't stand those perambulators, or whatever. Now, so help me, Bergen's greatest invention was when he invented me. That takes genius, you know. Now, Charlie, what an invention. I am Bergen's piece de resistance. Translated from the French, that means bread and butter.
You know, I've often wondered what that meant. But I'm more interested in you, Charlie, than the man who constricted you.
Yes. Oh, do you really mean that? Oh, be still, my heart. Scram, Bergen. All right. Would you like...
Oh, tell me, Charlie.
Huh?
Tell me, really.
Yes.
Would you like to be in pictures?
Here I go again. Well, now, coming back to the invention. My first invention was a combination dictaphone and printing press, and it takes dictation, shorthand, and typing. It does anything.
Oh,
anything.
Is that marvelous?
Yeah.
Does it peel potatoes?
Well, if you can dictate a potato, it'll peel it, I think.
Oh, that's too marvelous. But what do you have to do to operate this machine, Charlie?
Well, all you have to do is talk into the machine, see? And as you talk, the type falls automatically, and the press starts rolling around, and out it comes.
Out comes what?
Well, we've often wondered. We're having it analyzed now. It's a great machine. Of course, it isn't perfected yet. There's something missing somewhere.
And what do you think is missing, Charlie?
Well, for one thing, our assistant. The last time I saw him, he was leaning in the machine, and his tie got caught.
Oh, what a cataclysm.
Well...
What happened?
Well, it's hard to say. His wife has been calling every half hour.
But we don't feel that she'd be satisfied with what's coming out.
How disconcerted.
Oh, it does. It'll do it every time, dear. But my greatest invention, Miss George, you haven't heard about that, have you?
No, I haven't. You know, you're so versatile.
Oh, Yes, indeedy. My greatest invention was a lawnmower, but it wouldn't cut grass, eh? So I invented grass seed that wouldn't grow.
Oh, how absolutely excavating.
This is getting annoying. But I found out what wouldn't why it wouldn't cut grass. It needed someone to push it, see? So I put a gasoline engine on the lawnmower.
Oh, did that help, Charlie?
Help? You couldn't hold it from then on. I had to keep it locked up in the barn. One day I left the barn door open and it got away. Last time I saw it was going down Hollywood Boulevard. 15 policemen trying to corner it.
Oh, those poor policemen.
Yeah.
Did it hurt them?
Did it hurt them? It clipped them and it mowed them down.
Well, Bill, how you feeling?
Well, I have to look first. I'm feeling fine, Don. Sally, it's me back to old Virginia.
Wait a minute, Bill. Wait a minute. What is that valiant me back to old Virginia?
I'm thinking of Gladys George, Don.
Yeah.
Valiant is the word for curry.
Oh, I see.
Sally, it's me back to old Virginia. Down on the ho-hi-ho.
Bill, wait a minute. I get the idea.
I'd like to bust the guy in the nose told me that was funny.
All right, Bill.
And speaking of curry, Don, I'm getting rid of a great load today, and I don't mean 2 quarts either. I'm going to take a vacation, Don.
You're going to... Is that so, Bill? You mean you're going to leave us?
Oh, for the nonce, yes. This radio racket has got me down. Last Sunday, I had a recurrence of my double vision, Don.
Is that so, Bill?
Saw 2 Amishis. That wasn't bad enough.
Yeah, what happened then?
Then I saw 2 McCarthy. It was too much. That guy is a thorn, a splinter in my side. I'm going out to the woods and forget.
Well, say, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving us, Bill.
Oh, you begrudge me a few weeks commuting with Mother Nature, eh? Listening to the twitter of the birds and the stinging of the bees.
No, Bill. I don't mean that at all.
Of the howling of the bloodhounds. How those bloodhounds get into one's blood, Don. Guess that's why they call them bloodhounds, eh?
Yeah, I guess that's right. But, Bill, I didn't really mean
the
that...
baby rattlesnakes playing with their mother's rattle. Very beautiful, Don. The way nature provides those snakes with little toys. You know, Don, the mom of a rattlesnake, you know what she feeds her young?
No, and I don't care.
Oh, you never drank rattlesnake milk, eh?
No, Bill. But if you're really so anxious to take a vacation, I'm in favor of it, Bill.
You want to get rid of me, eh?
No, Bill, I don't.
For 9 weeks you've been avid in your anticipation of my departure. And not until now do you show your ugly teeth.
Oh, now, Bill, please.
Maybe I shouldn't say ugly teeth, Don, after knowing what you paid for them. You think they rooked you? I wonder what they'd allow me on a trade-in for some of mine.
Look, though, Bill, you've got me all wrong. I want you to do what you want to do.
Arguments at every turn. And what's more, you never let me say a word about my friends at Paramount.
Now, Bill.
Adolf Zucker.
Now, Bill, please.
Or Chase Sanborn.
Now, Bill, wait.
You see, you're rushing me.
Oh, Bill.
Gregory LaConova, Al Jolson, Fred Allen. There, I got him in, all right.
Bill, look, if you stay around, you can say all you want to about anybody you please. Now, how's that?
You close the door after the horse is gone.
What horse?
You know what horse, the one in the 3rd race. You bet on him. Anyway, it's too late now. There's too much argument around here. The thing you and Bergen don't understand is that we radio people are temperamental, very sensitive.
We radio people, Bill. You've only been on the air a couple of months.
That's right, too. Seems like years and years. Anyhow, I'm going for a vacation, far away from insults, hurled at me by that little rat, Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, wait a minute, Bill. Here's your nemesis, Charlie McCarthy.
Hello, Mr. Fields. I heard you tell Mr. Michi you're going away on a vacation, huh?
Well, do you want to make anything out of it?
No, Mr. Fields, but can I ask you where you're going?
Yes, you can.
Well, why don't you tell him, Bill?
Why don't you ask me?
Go ahead and ask him, Charlie.
All right, I will. Where are you going?
I'm going far away, far from the maddening crowds, far from the horse cars, and the crack of the driver's whip. Brrr, crack, crack. Get up there, Mag. Good old Mag horse. Was I happy when gasoline took the place of oats? Those were the happy days when the attendant would say, how many bushels? What kind of cracked corn? And shall I look at her shoes? Then look at me and then at the horse and say, is the tank full? And he'd look back at her shoes.
Bill, are you going into the
going
woods?
in the woods? Which one shall I answer? I'm going to the woods to dig up another McCarthy for Bergen. Now remember, Charles, I'll remember you to all your relatives.
I love the woods, Mr. Fields.
Who cares?
Will you take me with you, Mr. Fields?
What, take a sandwich to a picnic? On second thought, I may take you, my diminutive little chum. If I run out of matches, you can rub your hands together and start a fire.
Oh, then you will take me, won't you, Mr. Fields? Can I sleep in the pup tent?
No, my pup tent is very small. I use it to cover my dog. Pup tent, dogs, meaning feet. Remarkable. And after dinner, Charles, you can take a nap in the fireplace and keep us both warm. The evenings will be cool.
Bill, you know Charlie is already threatened to go on strike.
Picket in the fence factory, eh? I killed that one for him.
Say, Bill, do you expect to do any fishing while you're away?
Don, I had a very unhappy experience while fishing once, an experience I shall never forget.
Well, what was that, Bill?
I shall never forget it.
Yeah, well, what was it, Bill?
I can't remember just now. But I know it was an experience I shall never forget.
Oh, I see.
It comes back to me as though a dream. I was out in the woods doing a little fishing up at Lake Titicaca.
What?
Just a lake. I caught a little fish.
Yeah, go on,
A
Bill.
minnow.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
I looked at the little fellow's face. There was a tear in his sad, bleary eyes. It may have been a dewdrop.
Yes, Bill.
Dewdrop, yes.
Yes.
But when I released him from the hook, he showed his gratitude.
Oh, he was glad to get off the hook, huh?
Aren't we all? He wagged his little tail, gambled on the green, and sang, and tomorrow will be Friday.
Yeah, I know. The fish was a crooner, huh? He went boo-boo-boo, boo-boo-boo before you ate him, and after you ate him, he went boo-boo twice.
Thing like this and people like you that drive people like me to places where I'm going. The fish was no crooner. He didn't even know what a horse looked like. Very subtle, very subtle. He wasn't running a racetrack either. If you have any more like that thing, save them till you return to the air.
Is Mr. Fields, are you eating a tomato or is that your nose?
That's a comical. That's a comical. Keep quiet. Stop scratching yourself. You'll get sawdust all over the floor. Make this place look like a barroom in a minute. You must scratch yourself. Keep walking around that cuspidor over there.
Bill, look, though. What about that fish you caught?
Oh, yes, thanks, Don. I almost forgot about it. I took the little sick fish home.
I know, in a bucket of well water.
Very good, Charles. Very good. Sick fish, well water.
Yeah.
Very good, excellent.
I liked it, I thought.
Yeah. And then I began a startling scientific experiment in advanced ichthyology, meaning the study of fish, Don.
Yeah, I know, Bill.
Anything you don't understand, I'll only be too pleased to explain.
Yeah, I know ichthyology is a study of fish, Bill. Go
By
ahead.
removing a cupful of water from the bucket each day, I ultimately got the fish to live without any water at all. In fact, at the completion of my experiment, the fish could not hardly drink water. I had to feed him out of a bottle, a little water on the side.
Did the fish get drunk, Mr. Fields?
Don't leave that kid out in the rain so much. His brain is warped. The little fish would then follow me around like a dog. One day I was out in the woods hunting.
What were you hunting, Mr. Fields?
We were shooting camel.
Oh.
For camel hair coat. I finally turned around. I missed his little fin steps behind me.
Fin steps?
I heard a splash in the brook beside me. I immediately removed my habiliments, my alpaca coat, my pale green trousers, my pig-top hat.
Yeah, I know, Bill. Your habiliments.
My socks and garters, with gold initials on them, engraved. With love to dear William from Minnie.
Minnie who?
Minnie, ha-ha. I won't tell you.
Anyway, Bill, you heard a splash, and then what happened?
I can't help thinking of that last one, that Minnie, ha-ha.
Yeah, you heard a splash, though,
Yeah,
Bill.
oh, yes, I heard a splash. I wheeled around pronto. And to my great dismay, I found that...
I know. The fish fell in a brook and was drowned.
He beat you to the punch that time, Bill.
Nothing of the kind. That isn't the answer. A dog had treed my little fish.
Oh, wait a minute, Bill. You mean a dog had treed your fish?
Oh, yes, Don, I forgot to tell you. It was a catfish.
All right, Bill.
Continue,
I'm sorry we mentioned that.
I later grew into a flying fish. We flew across the Andes together.
Amos and Andes, you mean?
Listen, Charles, listen. Don't mention names on this program, dear. Am I right, Donald?
Bill,
Yeah?
I hear you're going away on a vacation. Is that true?
Do I have to go over this all again? Who is this, Don?
Why, Bill, that's Bob Armbruster, our orchestra leader. Don't you remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. What happened to his dialect?
Oh, I was just putting that on for Charlie, Bill.
Put it back on again. See if I can tell the difference.
Mr. Fields, when you're away, you're going to send us a postcard?
No, I'll send you some termites.
I got that. I want a postcard. I like postcards better.
You get termites just the same.
Do you expect to bring anything back alive, Mr. Fields?
Plenty. If you've ever been camping, you know what I mean. Take care of Charles.
I'll do my best, Bill. I'm going to start a savings account for little Charlie.
Oh, a little savings account, eh? Very subtle, very subtle. They're good,
Mr. Fields,
Yeah?
can I ask you, if before you go on a vacation, can I ask you a little favor?
Sure. Is it long?
No, Mr. Fields, I just want to know, would you like to kiss me goodbye?
Say, that's a great idea, Bill. Go on, before you start fighting again. Kiss Charlie and make up.
Yeah.
I've been picking my teeth with better wood than him for years. I'd rather be kissed by a baseball bat. I have dedicated this little poem to this momentous occasion. Farewell, goodbye, my little chum. Hello, soon shall say.
Hello, Bill.
Oh, what fun is going, coming.
Yes, sir, yeah.
And going, coming, too. The choo-choo train goes woo-woo-wooing.
Woo-woo-wooing.
Evidently written by a Chinaman. And so, kind friends, adieu. Adieu, my kind of lam-da-da.
Well, we'll all be looking forward to reports of your vacation, Bill. So long, and thank you very much, W.C. Fields. Always must be an au revoir, and I'm saying it now for our guests Gladys George and Ray Middleton, and for our regular company, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, and Robert Armbruster. We'll be looking forward to meeting you again, so until next Sunday at the same time, this is yours sincerely, Don Amici, saying au revoir.